to the MinnMax Show, a place about games, friends, and getting better. My name is Haley McLean. You might be thinking, what the hell? Huh? Ben's voice doesn't sound so freaking girly, neither does Kyle Bossman's. That's because I'm not them. I'm a girl. I'm hosting today. I'm very excited.
Will you introduce the concept of a girl to our listeners?
It's kind of like the people that play games, but they got boobies too.
Yeah, and they're smarter, actually, I think,
and they live 7 years longer on average. Yeah. Take that, nerds. We're going to play so many more games than you in those 7 years, right, Janet?
And they go to Venus or Jupiter?
Boys go to Jupiter to get more stupider, of course, Jacob.
That's right. Thank you.
You'll figure out who all these voices are chirping me in the back in just a moment. If I could just take a moment. I've been a fan of the MinnMax Show since 2019, and I used to listen to it every single episode. I think I've listened to at least 95% of all the episodes, and that's not including the ones I obviously don't listen to because I'm on them. And if you had told Haley in 2019 she'd be hosting the MinnMax Show, she would cream her frickin' jeans. So thank you for having me. Thank you, Ben, for trusting me with your digital baby while you're out on paternity leave looking after your real babies. I'm very grateful. This is very exciting, and I'm very happy to be joined today with a bunch of my friends. I got Janet Garcia.
Hello, this is basically Pew Bang.
This is just basically Pew Bang. Sarah Pazorski, aka Leo Vader.
Hi.
Anything to say, Sarah? Any kind of funny, something funny? Come on, man, you're the funny one.
Something cutting that I'll remember for years and just keep to myself.
No. I will not poke any fun at Sarah with the 2 10s coming up. Nice try.
That's fair. That's fair.
Smart,
She's
smart.
strong. She's a strong competitor. We also have Kelsey Lewin, aka Jacob Geller.
Thank God.
I also felt like Jacob was Kelsey.
I was like, either Kyle or I are going to be Kelsey, and then the other one's just going to be left floating.
And then Kyle Hilliard is myself, Haley McLean.
Oh, hey, I'm okay with that. I thought it would be the frickin' MinnMax Show this week.
Yes, I was trying to think. Should I say the show that my freaking bonus pod is about? But that was a mouthful, so I decided not to. This is the 321st
also very confusing
episode.
for folks that just listen to the free feed and be like, what?
Exactly. Well, on this 321st episode of the MinnMax Show, yes, I counted, we have a lot of fun things to talk about today. We're going to be reapproaching Dispatch. The final episodes have come out for that episodic thing from Ad Hoc Studios. A lot of us have finished it. We're going to be talking about that a little bit more. I know Jacob and Kyle have played Marvel's Deadpool VR, the new MetaQuest game. We're going to be breaking the fourth wall and taking a peek at that.
Reference.
Reference. Nice Stream has come out with another game after Before Your Eyes, Goodnight Universe. Did it make us all cry? You will find out when we talk about it in a little bit. And we're also going to reapproach Lumines Arise after we had Mark McDonald, the developer on the game, on last episode, because some of us have played that as well. And then also at the end of this episode, I have something called Haley's Secret Sauce, named by Leo Vader, that made me really have to rise to the occasion and figure out something dumb to do at the end of this. So stick around, because we'll be having a guest show up for a little game for you guys at the end.
Oh, we did
Jigsaw. Oh my God.
Our weekly Monday meeting, and the special sauce thing was like, you gonna have some kind of special sauce for you hosting it, Haley? And we didn't really find any more details than that. And when the meeting ended, I was like, that felt like a really fast meeting. Was that like too fast? Did we miss something?
I loved how fast that meeting was. Just could throw it out there.
I wonder what's different with the meetings. I mean, I wasn't there because I was traveling.
I find it best not to examine these things too closely. It's like the sun. You want to get a sense of it, but not directly into it.
And then, of course, the back half, after my secret sauce has splattered the screen, we have community questions. Didn't have to be you. You made it you. We could be thinking about hot sauce or barbecue sauce. You made it you, Janet. Got some lovely community questions from our community members, the Backstage Pass on our Patreon, patreon.com/MinnMax with 2 N's. And then, of course, to get a load of this, but everyone knows about that. Let's get to it.
Yeah.
Dispatch. Ad Hoc Studios' new game. All the episodes have been released. There's 8 episodes in total. This is an episodic choice narrative game. I was looking more into the history of Ad Hoc in preparation for this. It's a lot of veterans, obviously from Telltale Games, Ubisoft, and also Night School Studios, which I didn't realize, who are also veterans of Telltale Games. But they were working on this is where I got confused when we talked about it last time. They've been working on the Wolf Among Us 2 when LCG Entertainment revived Telltale from the dead. And then they split off to do their own thing. And what's interesting about Dispatch is COVID turned it into a game, which I didn't realize was a thing. It was originally going to be a live action like project where they said it was similar to ESPN's This Is Sports Center commercials. Did you guys ever watch those? I went and watched a bunch of them when I realized that's what it was based on, but it's essentially just like very dry humor, kind of like Jacob, what's the thing that you love that we quote often? This is
I think you should leave.
I think you should leave. Yes, it kind of gives. I think you should leave a little tiny bit.
I don't know if that's dry humor. It's a pretty wet,
like really
show.
angry,
pretty wet humor that maybe is more accurate. But yeah, they essentially had planned out this whole live action thing where it was going to be like a superhero dispatch thing, and they did these little shorts with superheroes working in a very mundane office, and then COVID happened. And they were like, well, we're good at making narrative video games. Let's just turn it into a video game. And that's kind of how Dispatch came around. But yeah, I think most of us has finished it. We just did a max spoilers that just went up today. Thank you, Leo, for editing and putting that up.
Jason A. Striker edited that one. Shouts out.
Shouts out Jason A. Striker.
Helping
Sorry
out with the
about
editing
that.
and the paternity
Do you guys
leave.
like go through all
Leo.
the different endings in that? Like, do you? Because I would just love someone to explain to me all the alternate. Because I did finish it, but I just like I don't want to. I just want someone to tell me what the other things that could have happened were.
We did, but part of the kind of funny thing about that spoiler cast is there were 4 of us on it, and we all got the same ending. Even though we we made different choices, but it did, and there are multiple endings. It's not like there's
6.
Everything only ends in one place, but we all just ended up getting that. Kyle, is there any way for you to say which ending you got without spoiling it, or should we just leave that to be a mystery?
I don't know if there's really a way to do. Yeah, I don't
That's
know.
fine.
Yeah, it's fine. I remember we had a feature on Dispatch in Game Informer, and one of the things they said early on was like, we don't have a ton of endings, which was like there's only a handful, and which we've talked about this before briefly in like end of the year discussions and stuff. It's like I actually don't personally get a lot out of like choice driven narratives in video games. I like to have like, if there's a best ending, why are you keeping that from me? Like, just give me the best narrative conclusion. I don't really like making choices. Just kind of lets me see the Matrix as opposed to letting me like get emotionally engaged in sort of a narrative. That's kind of I recognize that's like kind of that's not typical. Like most people love to make the choices and things like that. But when they said that they were kind of like, yeah, like there's gonna be different endings, but we're not making like dozens of endings. That like gave me a lot of optimism of like, okay, they're really honing in on like things that will be hopefully satisfying. And like I'm not a big Telltale guy. I played Wolf Among Us with my wife, and I think I played the first episode of Walking Dead, but it's just never been my jam. Like, it's just not what I look for in games. They're a little bit too passive. But Dispatch, like just the amount, the number of episodes they released every week, the length of the episodes, and the fact that it just looked so good, like got me through it. Like I was in a way that I was very pleased. I really like Dispatch a lot, even though it's really outside of my normal genre for sure.
And I'm curious if you complain about seeing the Matrix, if that felt any different in this game versus others, because it flows really well. Like it's not, Telltale, you would make a choice and it would chunk for hang on a frame for half a second, and it would be like, okay, that took me straight out of it, and I'll try to get back into it. But this flows really smoothly, and the endings are calculated in a way that is not totally just you make a choice and then this happens. And what we kind of started to read about, and I've read about more since the max spoilers, it's a little more hidden the way you get to the endings, which I find helps it be a little more mysterious, maintain that like anything could happen. I just do what feels organic, and then we'll see where it goes. But of course, seems like that enough things felt organic to all of us that we got the same ending, and that is a little bit of an indictment.
Yeah, I think it also just helps that the animation almost in a negative way, like this totally would have been functional as a TV show for me. Like I think I would have probably enjoyed it just as much if it was just a great prestige animated show, and like there was like I did kind of see the Matrix a little bit in the ending of just like, because there's like a couple of choices right near the end where I'm like, I wonder how that would have gone otherwise, and that does weirdly kind of throw me off, because it just makes me realize that they went through the process of animating a whole different endings with different characters and things. I don't know, I can't help but think about it in that state for some reason.
I'm curious about something that I was thinking about, especially because there's a lot of political discourse that I don't want to get into about like Game Awards, what isn't indie. But like something that I'm just curious about is, my understanding is animation is quite expensive. Like animation is expensive and it takes a long time. And this game looks so good and has, you know, like many more animated scenes than the player even sees because there are diverging pathways and stuff. And it's like, I really do just want to know the budget of this game because it kind of is being, you know, I'm super glad that it's successful and it seems like this team has been on like a really rocky road to get here. But like at the same time, I just look at it and I'm like, there's no way you could just kind of scrap together a game that looks like this. Like it just, animation is just hard. It's just like hard and labor consuming and time consuming. And I'm really curious kind of where this lands in how we think of budgets for like single A, double A, triple A games.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's an interesting concept. It's just like there is more money getting thrown at indie stuff because more and more indies are making it onto the main stage as the best-selling things of the year. So it's almost kind of like investors are looking at indies for future investments instead of those heavy hitter AAAs that we're used to. And then it's just like indie games look AAA and it feels weird to call them indie games, but also that's mean because just because something's an indie doesn't mean it needs to look cheap. You know, it's like this weird phase of the industry that we're sort of going into that just kind of feels weird and sparks lively debates. Like Janet, Sarah, Kelsey, and I had a great debate when we were at Really Rad Weekend talking about, you know, we don't have to get into it, but just like, is Claire Obscure an indie? And we had like an hour and a half long debate about that, which is just 10 years ago, we just wouldn't be having those kind of conversations, it feels like, because tech and money is getting spread around so much more easily. Hence why we have this being Dispatch is an indie game, but it feels mean to say it looks too good to be an indie game. That's rude to say to other indie games, but yeah.
Well, I mean, but you could make the same argument with, I wasn't present for your Claire Obscure argument, but like Dispatch also used like outsourced animation work to lots of other people. You know, like there might have been, like Claire Obscure, 30-ish people on the main team, but like way more people were involved in putting this together. And it's like the reason that it quote unquote looks better than an indie game made by 10 people is like, this isn't an indie game made by 10 people. It's like there were a lot of people and it probably cost a lot of money, even if it didn't cost as much money as, you know, some other game you could point to.
Janet, you're really into choice-based game. Did you play Dispatch at all?
No, not yet. It's one of those things where I just wasn't in the mood for it. When it hit, I was sort of like in between things. But admittedly, the other thing that kind of kept me like waiting in the wings was seeing like what other people thought about it, because I think it's an interesting pitch, but I've been burned on a lot of narrative games somewhat recently. And I also kind of, and I still feel this way in terms of like the reaction that I perceive, like from y'all, like other peers in the industry, it seems like maybe there's a slight gap for like maybe like taste in media or humor. I feel like I've seen some people critique the game for maybe being a little like cheesy in some regards. And I wonder if that's just like a, I don't know, anti-superhero vibe that like cuts for some people. Like I would love for you guys to speak to that element. Because that being said, like all of, you know, pretty much everyone here, even like, you know, Patrick over on Remap have been like really hot on it in a way where I'm like, okay, I think I am gonna, when I do finally sit down, I think I will enjoy it. But I was wondering if you like noticed any of that conversation or could speak to that element of it.
Yeah, something that stood out to me is it is the superhero thing that has gotten really tropey and boring for me, at least personally. Like I'm very not interested whenever there's a new Marvel movie. I just feel like there's already so many. But I think what was fun about this is it kind of takes it and does it in a unique spin. Like, just for example, there's the Chase character. We talked about this in the Max spoilers, but like his super ability is he can run really fast. But then the tweak was he didn't really realize that he was aging while he was running fast. And now he's like a 40-year-old man in an 80-year-old body. And he's like, I can't be a superhero anymore. I guess I'll just work an office job at this dispatch network. Like, that's a very fun, you know, unique, multi-layered concept that creates a more unique character than just the guy who runs fast. and like his backstory will be he's running from his past or something really obvious, and the writers are like, that's really clever because he runs, or you're like, okay, sure. But like it's like there's always kind of an additional element to like their powers and then their personality and how they kind of mix together that makes you go, oh, they feel a little bit more three-dimensional and fun to care about than historically like other superhero characters.
And interesting rules too, like Invisigal can turn invisible, but only when she's holding her breath, and she has asthma, so she's really reliant on an inhaler. And there's like, story beats around that. It like matters about her character. That interesting little bit of like reality to it. I like that kind of
there
poetry.
is some cheesiness though, for sure. Like it is a lot of like the main character giving inspirational speeches for like what is amounts to the like a desk job. It would be like if you like, guys, we can do. I mean, I guess the sort of the thing that you're just supposed to sort of accept is like, yeah, they're saving people, right? So it is important work. But then it's like it is just sort of structured as like, yeah, but guys, this is just a desk job, and it's like every couple of episodes he has to give this inspirational speech about how they can do better. And I did have some eye roll moments there, but it's also like really. Like the performances are good and the animation is good, so like I'm happy to buy into it in those instances.
And I like the choices in the speeches of like I what do I think would get through to these people, like that the choice comes through in cool ways there. But it also does a little like making fun of itself and how many speeches it's doing and things, and sometimes that rubs me the wrong way, especially in the superhero genre. You get a lot of that. You get a lot of isn't this stupid, and it's like, do you want to make this or not?
I was thinking about the classic Janet axiom while playing it of, does this video game have a really good story, or does it simply have a story? Which is something that you've said many times. And I think that this is a game that has a pretty decent story that has really good production values, including like really great voice performances, good chemistry, like we've talked about, good animation. And so it's like, if this was a TV show, people would maybe not be going gaga over it in quite the same way that
I agree.
we are, because there are slightly lower expectations for what a video game story is. But I still think that like even a somewhat predictable story done really well can be fun. And it's like the choices add that little bit on top of what otherwise would be maybe not the most remarkable superhero story you've ever heard.
And some really standout scenes within it too, for sure. Memorable, unusual, clever scenes, and not every line hits, but some great lines too. Like there's enough good writing in there for sure.
I think it's telling that like I have bounced off of pretty much every Telltale game. I was not engaged enough to be like, oh yeah, I can't wait to see what happens next. But like for Dispatch, which doesn't matter, Janet, for you if you're going to play it because you can just play through it. But I was like, the fact that I Googled when do the new episodes of Dispatch come out because I want to see what's happening next is like, that's a big compliment for that game, because otherwise normally I would have just fallen off and been like, oh, I guess I'll just wait till they're all out. But I wanted to play it every week. Every Wednesday I was like, okay, I can take an hour and a half, 2 hours to get through both episodes. Yeah, I'll do that,
I think that also made me wait, where it's like, I don't like episodic rollouts, so I'm like, I'm just gonna bide my time. I usually don't.
Yeah.
It did hit okay for me with this game. I don't like it either, Janet. Like whenever Life is Strange does it, I'm like, Life is Strange. Don't
trigger me. My trigger phrase. Life is Strange.
She's been activated. Life is Strange sometimes does like years between episodes. Just like
Life is Strange 2 was a crime for sure. Like how big how far apart it was. Yeah,
but this kind of gave like your favorite Netflix show spacing out the episodes. Like I think I'm an episodic.
I'm an episodic prude. I'm like, I can only do this with like one show every couple years. Like I did it with Severance. I'm like, that was my one, and I like can't
watch it week to week. Sure.
Yeah.
I love episodic stuff, but even me with video games, I do kind of wait till the end. But I would love to see like Steam integrate some kind of presentation of that, of like, hey, the new episode of this is available, because you only ever so many shows I forget about because I just don't go to the streaming platform they're on and I don't see new episode there. But when it's a thing I'm regularly going to and it says, hey, new episode of what you've been watching, like it just needs to be, I just need to be reminded of it, and there's not really a good system in place at the moment.
I think you don't see that 3 gigabyte download. That's my reminder. I turn on Steam and I'm like, oh, something's happening over there.
We do need the continue watching of gaming, where it's like, hey, you started this game. You sure you don't want to just keep going? And then you'd see, you'd see 32 games on your drive.
Oh no!
Just staring at you. All the things you've started and not finished. Yeah.
I think the reason Dispatch, the episodic system, like worked for me in this one instance was they were like, we're going to give you 2 episodes every week, first of all. So it's like, it doesn't feel quite as bite size. Also, here's exactly how many they're going to be. And this is the exact schedule. We're going to stick to it. And it's not that long. Because I think it was ultimately a month. Yeah. Right. It was like 4 weeks ultimately. Yeah. And it just felt very doable. And I think the 2-episode thing it was like the secret that helped it.
Yeah, but I think a lot of games like Life is Strange do episodic so that they can finish one part and then work on the other part. Yeah. So it's hard to replicate.
Very true. This kind of was also a distancing from, we kind of talked about it in the Max spoilers as well. Just keep pointing to that if you want more conversation. But this is quite different from the in-between gameplay between cutscenes. This historically just been like walk around the environment you're in, pick up some items, combine the items, get the thing you need to get, and then move on to the next cutscene. Whereas this kind of created a new little mini game system that had hacking, which I could take or leave. Honestly, it was okay. And then, but the dispatch stuff I honestly did like, where it was kind of, you would choose the specific heroes you wanted to send out. They had specific skills that made this little web shape that you would want to essentially fill in the problem web shape with your hero's web shape that I really liked. It was glitchy, and I had some issues where certain characters got stuck and I couldn't send them out. I once skipped a whole day and wasn't able to send anyone out. Like the cutscene of Robert sitting down in his desk chair started, and then the screen went black, and then he was taking off his headphones and was like, what a shift. And I was like, what? So I just lost out on a whole gameplay thing. So there was some issues with it. I still think the stats are bugged, the devs have said, and stuff like that. So there are issues with it, but what did you guys think about that being the new kind of mediary, quote unquote, gameplay between cutscenes for a Telltale successor game? Like it more, like it less?
I don't love bait, because like there's a certain degree of like, I don't know, I guess I'll send this guy, we'll see, and like I don't love that, but I did love narratively, at least I don't know, maybe like I assume it's like this, like there are days where it's just going to be a bad shift and it's like you can't do anything about it, and it's like I like that because it like it's reflective of the sort of emotion you're going through, and it adds a narrative purpose, right? Like, so like, yeah, they made that section basically impossible to do well during, and I appreciate that it's like, yeah, like don't let this just be like a mini game that I play between things, like have it like feed into the narrative and like, make it stressful when stressful things are happening. So I appreciate it for that reason, but like, yeah, I mean, like I said, like in a maybe a negative way, I was thinking about like, I think I would have liked this just as much as a normal TV show, and I was like, was there any gameplay that was there anything that like improved the game that was gameplay? And the only thing I could think of was like, and this might be a minor spoiler, there's like a bar fight scene and you have some QTEs that like connect to, like, it makes you think you're doing something minor like opening a bag of chips, but then it like cuts to the bar fight and it makes that QTE action like a violent attack, and that whole sequence was fun. And I think like the gameplay of that was like, okay, this is funny and interesting and like is improved by me like holding a controller and engaging and stuff like that. But otherwise, like, it was mostly I was happy just watching the really well done cutscenes, but I'm also like a big animated, I just like good animation and anime, and I feel like this falls like maybe like one rung lower than a really great anime, maybe two, let's go two rungs lower.
Well,
than
how many rungs are on the ladder, Kyle? It's meaningless if we don't know how many rungs.
It's a 3-rung ladder. It's a secret. I won't tell you.
It's the Snake Eater ladder. It's actually like 9,000 rungs.
So it's like 0.02%.
Almost totally perfect.
Yeah. Statistically irrelevant, really, when it comes to data.
Jacob, Leo, you guys mind the new gameplay? I mean, take it or leave it? Or
I think we can mostly point people towards the max spoilers. I don't want to repeat what we said already too much. But like, like I said there, I thought that it helped build character relationships with characters that didn't get that much screen time in the story, which I liked. Even if a character didn't have kind of like a narrative plot arc in the animated sequences, you could still see it in the dispatch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, generally liked it. And you get you pair them up, so you kind of create the little banter between them. You create the synergy. And that's fun.
Yeah, something we didn't mention is, this is in collabs with Critical Role, who are just like video game voice actor juggernauts doing their side gig. So it's like, if you have them on board, your voice actors are going to be really good. But yeah, the next thing Ad Hoc's working on apparently
unless it's Tears of the Kingdom.
Unless it's Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, I don't like Mercer's Ganondorf. I don't think it's very
good. That's is that the only thing
not
you don't
sexy
like
enough for you? Is that what it was?
Not sexy enough, obviously.
Okay, cool. Good to know where it sits on the ladder.
Well, their next game is Project Exandria. That's probably not the final name, but they're doing that with Critical Role as well. But I'm excited to see what that's going to be. I would imagine now that Dispatch is so much success, they'll probably do like a Dispatch season 2 or something to that effect. But yeah, I thought that was a really solid first step for them as a separated independent studio from Telltale. But yeah, Dispatch is on PS5 and PC. All the episodes are out now, so you don't have to wait for them one at a time like we had to. You could just go play them all at the same time.
Sorry, 1 second.
Jenny,
1 second, sorry. Hello? Hello? Who is this? Who is this? Oh, Fresh? That's right, everyone. HelloFresh is sponsoring the show again this week. We love HelloFresh, don't we, folks? You may have heard of them. We've been doing ads for a while, but here's what's new. They're bigger. They've doubled their menu. They're healthier. They got high protein recipes. And they're tastier. So if you liked them before, you're an idiot, because now's when they're actually good. I would love HelloFresh if I ever got to use it. Ben Hansen uses it and loves it.
I use it, Leo.
Oh, what's up? You like it?
Yeah, you literally love HelloFresh. I use it every week. I'm not even looking at a script. It's really good food. It comes to our door, which is really nice. It has ice packs in it, so everything stays fresh.
What's a yummy thing you made with it recently?
Yeah, last night we made turkey noodles. It had snow peas in it. That was good. I think tonight we're doing beef, pork quesadillas, and then there was one other one. I can't remember what the third one is. But we always put the little recipes on the fridge on a magnet, and then we go, which one tonight? And then we figure out which one we want to do. We get 3 a week, and we really like it.
Fun.
Yeah.
Well, lots of people really like it. 91% of customers say they feel healthier eating it. You're not special. 3 out of 4 parents say their kids eat more veggies with HelloFresh. I wonder if Ben would say that. Odds are yes. Statistically speaking, he would. Nice. So use our code MinnMax10FM to get 10 free meals plus a free high protein item for life. That's an additional high protein item thrown in with every shipment you get from HelloFresh. HelloFresh.com/MinnMax10FM will take you right there. HelloFresh.com/MinnMax10FM. 1 per box with active subscription. Free meals applied as discount on first box. New subscribers only, varies by plan. I just wanted to add. I just thought that I would add that.
That's really good to add. Well, thanks, Leo. Never interrupt me again.
Sorry, will not happen again. Will never happen again.
Can't believe this. But anyways, moving on. God, I'm so thrown off. How am I ever going to talk about Marvel's Deadpool VR now? Ugh, I guess I'll just have to get right into it.
Also, yes, I will play it, Kaylee.
Yeah, that's I forgot I asked you that before.
Maybe first I'll have to play this other game, even though I don't have a Meta Quest. And is it only on that? This is where you guys told me about the game.
Can I tell a little story about
I would love
me playing Deadpool VR?
Please.
On our Game Codes channel on the Slack, Ben said, would anyone like to play Deadpool VR? And I said, please tell Meta that I will play the game if they send me a Meta Quest 3, which I don't have. And presumably someone at Meta said, bluff called. And then they sent me a Meta Quest 3. So
God.
Thanks for doing that, Meta. Hope you enjoy our following review of Deadpool VR.
I said I would do that deal too, and they, for some reason, didn't want to do it with me. So
they actually called you to yell at you, didn't they?
I thought what was very funny, Leo, is Ben said, that's great. So they'll send one to Jacob and you can borrow mine, Leo. And you said, that was not the deal.
Very different deal.
Well, yeah, this came out yesterday, as Jacob said, Meta Quest 3 exclusive. I was looking at Twisted Pixel Games, who developed this. I think their next most popular game was Explosion Man. I've never played that.
Yeah,
but
I like that.
I love Explosion Man's fantastic, and Miss Explosion Man. Like when Explosion Man, I love so much that it kind of locked me in. It's like became one of those developers I'll keep an eye on forever. Because nice. those 2 games are amazing, and funny too. Did you finish Deadpool VR, Jacob? Did you play it all the way through?
Nope. I gave it 2 good cracks. I hated it so much the first time that I played it, and then I read your review, and I was like, I suppose I should try it again. And then I did try it again, and I think that's enough for me.
So can you tell us how long the cracks were?
What was it that you hated? Like, what was
it
that rubbed you the wrong way specifically?
Well, Deadpool is a he's a real take 'em or leave 'em character. Sometimes he works for you, sometimes he doesn't. For me, the experience of being in VR where you literally cannot look or turn away from the experience, combined with what I felt was like the worst Deadpool writing, like I found like everything leading up to Deadpool and Wolverine the movie very annoying, and I saw the movie and I was like, begrudgingly I admit that a lot of this works, like he's not a character for me, but like I can admit that like that movie is often cooking and does fun stuff with the character. None of that happens in this, and instead it is Neil Patrick Harris giving a performance that sounds like he's in the back of an Uber, just like saying things into his phone. And every conversation is like, Deadpool is like, wow, that guy was short, like Yoda. And then the guy he's talking to is like, who's Yoda? And Deadpool is like, you haven't heard of Yoda? And then they do that with every character you've ever heard from any property.
Yeah, no, cool. Patrick Harris, his performance is pretty rough. There's like a hand, like, because I reviewed it for Game Informer, and I think in my review I wrote that there was like every once in a while you might get like, if there was a joke that maybe he clearly liked, like you would get kind of like an enthusiastic like line reading, but like, gosh, something like 80-90% really was just like just reading words off of paper, like it's pretty rough. To be complimentary though, there were some jokes that really did work for me. Like there were a couple. There was like, and it was when he gets like really like got really in the weeds with stuff. Like there's a whole, it's kind of early, so maybe you saw it, Jacob, but there's a whole sequence where he talks about Dan Harmon's story circle for like 3 or 4 minutes. Like he's like just explaining how it works and stuff like that. Was very funny to me. They have a whole sequence that looks like a Jeff Minter game, and Deadpool was like making jokes about Jeff Minter, and I was like, really? Okay, cool. And it's like, so like stuff like that worked for me, but those are few and far between, like most of the time it is totally like just saying the name of something recognizable or something like making a Star Wars reference and calling it a punchline and and being done with it.
Yeah, I was hoping to, in my playtime, I read that there's like a Jeff Minter section, and I wanted to get to places that were kind of more visually inventive, because that is something that VR can do really well, is like, oh, this environment that I'm in is crazy and it feels like I'm in it. And I believe that the game gets there, but it doesn't. It wasn't front loading it. The first level is just kind of like gray aircraft carrier, and the next level is just kind of dark ninja area, and it does the thing that it's like, why do you do this in games where it has an irritating gameplay mechanic and then the character will joke about it, but then you still have to do it? And so much of this game is just you're in a room and you kill guys as they spawn. And there were some fun bits of the combat, but it didn't do enough to make me forget that I'm just standing in a room waiting for guys to spawn.
Yeah, and then there's like little secret. There's like some puzzle adjacent type things. They're in, they're just sort of like, hey, let's not do shooting for a while, which is fine. I don't even think that's bad design or anything. But like when he's sort of like dismissing them, and I'm kind of like, I don't know, I kind of like this. I feel bad almost. But I'm more positive on it than you, Jacob. But it is not like, it's nothing I would recommend to anybody. It's got some cool action. I had to turn up the comfortability settings more than I usually do, because I was getting more nauseated than usual of just because you're doing a lot of like jumping and like dashing through the air at people, and there is stuff where like you can dash at somebody and like kick their head off and everything goes slow motion. You grab their gun out of the air and you can like empty the clip and throw the gun at somebody. Like you can get into all that kind of stuff, which is well done. But yeah, I mean, you have to do it at the expense of like, you know, Neil Patrick Harris talking constantly in a way that's almost impressive because there isn't a lot of repeated lines, which is pretty impressive. But it's like the hit rate of jokes that I liked was like 10% or something, you know, like I'll give it up for the ones that I thought were good and made me laugh, but they were really infrequent.
You know, to their credit, it took a full 45 minutes before he said "ninja, please." So, you know, like they're clearly showing some restraint with their humor.
Restraint is not a word I would use for Deadpool VR.
Wow. I'm curious, and I wonder if other people will be curious too. Does 775 seem a little high for something you wouldn't recommend to anyone?
I just saw that, but it's average.
point.
That's what I was gonna say, Leo. Like this is how I found out that in Game Informer, a 7 means average, and then 8 is just very good.
Yeah, like that on that scale, like there's like enough redeeming to me of like it functions well. There's cool gameplay. I mean, if you read my review, my big sort of like frustration is it's like the humor just doesn't work enough, right? Where like I guess maybe that is too strong to be like I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. Right, because like it is a good Deadpool game.
You happen to just not know any super big Deadpool fans that you would then recommend it to.
They're out there apparently, but yeah, like
millions of them. I will say to say nice things about the game, not just because I feel bad about slamming it into a helicopter rotor or whatever Deadpool does with his enemies.
Clever,
like
classic.
The shooting stuff is, you know, VR mechanics are just more fun than regular mechanics. And I do think if you're like a VR, you know, if you've got your VR legs, the flexibility that the game lets you do is pretty cool. And the fact that you can like jump and full 360 move and, you know, like do lots of gun, sword, throw your sword at a guy, then shoot him, you know, it's like there was attention paid to how to make action fun in VR games, and it goes further than some VR games that I've played. It is admirably gory, which is kind of fun for like both a meta funded and like pretty cartoony looking game. You know, you can fully slice people in half. And so it's like there are the VR, I was like the bones of a interesting VR game are here. And I think the you know, the two-edged sword of VR is that you are so locked into the mechanics of what you're doing in the game, which is fun, but also anything that you don't like is inescapable. And like that's kind of how it felt of like I can't turn this down and listen to a podcast because it is literally strapped.
You're trapped in the
face.
world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. It's not a Deadpool problem, but it is like even games I really like. Like I wonder, Jacob, if you'll make some time to check out Batman, which I think is like
I should.
Way better.
I would really like to now.
Yeah, I mean they're different, but it is that thing of like if there's like a when you're watching a cutscene in a VR game, you're like, I'm here. Like I got to give 100%. I'm not doing anything. I'm just sitting here kind of waiting for characters to finish their dialogue.
It makes you realize how nice cinematography is because VR games don't generally have any because you're just standing there looking at someone. Yeah. And so it's
you have to be the cinematographer.
There's a sequence when you get to kind of the main hub area in Deadpool VR that just went on and on and on. And I was just standing there and it was like, I was literally pulling out his guns and like pointing them at myself and being like, can I do something with this? No, you just had to stand there.
Has any VR game tried to do like a peep show method of cutscenes where it cuts between the characters' perspectives, or would that be too disorienting? I'd be curious to see something.
It's kind of interesting.
In Deadpool, even there are occasionally cutscenes where it kind of goes into a big widescreen and it has camera cuts as if it's just like a traditional like cutscene. And I found it kind of disorienting, honestly. Like I thought it was like a little strange. It was one of those moments. It's like I appreciate that you guys are trying to do like mix up the cutscene a little bit here. So like Jacob says, you're not just standing here staring. But it didn't really work. Batman has kind of cool ones actually for all the flashbacks because a lot of the game is about child Bruce interacting with child Harvey Dent. All of it takes place from an overhead perspective, like God's eye
cool.
view kind of. So like you're just seeing them from above and watching them interact as children. And it was like it made those sequences at least unique. Like, you know, like it's like you knew what you were getting into because suddenly you would be sort of like floating over this, like, you know, this overhead view of like an apartment or something. You know, it was interesting. More successful than Deadpool.
Jacob, did they send you a return label with your back after the scathing review?
You know, I'm excited to try out some more VR games, but take this. You can't buy MinnMax. Even if you send me a thing to play it on, I will not be nice about your game.
I'll be nice about it.
Go ahead, try.
Send me one. I'll be nice about it.
We'll all be nice about it. All right, well, that's Marvel's Deadpool VR on MetaQuest 3 and 3S exclusively. Reach out. Maybe they'll send you one to try it. Who knows? Well,
step 1, be a successful YouTuber. Step 2, reach out to MetaQuest.
No one ever sends me anything because of YouTube. This is all through MinnMax. Ben did all the communicating. Yeah.
Everyone needs a Ben Hansen in their life to do the communicating to get free stuff. Yeah. It's nice to have that kind of person in your life. We miss you, Ben. I know you're listening.
Shouts
out,
Ben.
Having a nice day. Hi, Ben. All right, let's go into the next. Speaking of Ben's baby, let's talk about the next game, Goodnight Universe from Nightstream. I'm excited to talk about this one. So this is a very interesting game because it uses like what they're known for, their face tracking software, with their game that won a BAFTA award, I learned, Before Your Eyes, where every time you blinked, it would move the scene forward. And also, I played this game and then immediately went and played Before Your Eyes in the same sitting as well, because I was so enamored by the eye tracking stuff. So I played both games back to back. So I'm excited to talk about both. But what's interesting is you can play this game without the eye tracking stuff. Like some systems don't support it. Like I know Xbox doesn't currently, Nintendo Switch doesn't currently, but Nintendo's going to have an update soon that's going to add the eye tracking stuff. But we have some people here like Janet, you didn't play it with any eye tracking stuff, and others who did play it. So I'm curious to hear if the experience is still fun or the game is still as enjoyable without that kind of experience. But yeah, you're essentially a 6-month-old baby named Isaac who has magic powers, and you use your eyeballs to do the powers. And there's like a bunch of different ways to actually do the powers, which kind of made me feel like I had powers. Like it was kind of interesting. Like there's one where you close your eyes and you tilt your head, and it's like you're tuning a frequency to try to listen to somebody's thoughts. And it genuinely kind of feels like you're like, okay, I'm going to find, like, I don't know. It was giving me like really cool vibes for unique gameplay things I've never seen before. But yeah, where's everybody at with this one? I finished it and then obviously played Before Your Eyes. What about you guys?
I also finished it. I finished Goodnight Universe. I think it's a good game, but it really didn't light my world on fire, which is it's a tough spot to be at because I think this is like such a talented team. And Before Your Eyes, the longer I get away from that game, the more clearly that's a 10 out of 10 video game for me. The more clearly that should have been my game of the year it came out. Other great games came out that year that I had above it. But like that game, as I continue to go forward, lives in my head rent free. I think it is like one of the greatest narrative experiences in video games. I think if you like narrative games, it's like a must play alongside like the other greats like Edith Finch and Firewatch and Gone Home and all of those titles. So I will admit that, you know, that bias might play a little bit, right? I think I have a high expectation and it didn't meet that. That being said, I don't know. I've played plenty of narrative games that have a lot of hype, so I feel like I'm kind of used to that ground. Ultimately, where I landed on Goodnight Universe is, while I think this team continues to really have mastery at things like art direction and really genuine, authentic feeling dialogue and often avoiding tropes for their characters, and also doing like great uses of parallelism in their writing and also like the subject matter and some really creative implementations of storytelling. While they have all those things going for them, and you see some of those things in Goodnight Universe, ultimately why I wasn't that hot on it. And I don't want to say I don't recommend it. That's a little dramatic, but I kind of recommend it with like, if you like narrative games, I think why not check this out? It's one of the big ones of the year, but it's not one that I was that into because, without spoiling it, I feel like it starts from a place of somewhat novelty. Obviously, there's been psychic baby stories before, powerful babies, right?
Countless.
The freaking Incredibles is a powerful baby story. Boss Baby. We got lots of baby content out there.
That's such a, I haven't played it because it feels like such a Boss Baby ripoff.
It's a Boss Baby like.
Sorry.
Yeah.
There's
Boss
been
Baby
baby
vibes.
content before, right? The granted, no stories original, right? So while like there's been media like this, I do think it's a little bit of like a unique angle, a unique perspective. But as things went on, I feel like they got a little more obvious, a little more tropey, and just kind of like a little paper thin in what some of the plot stuff does. And I think that while there's some fun things going on thematically, like, again, without giving it away, there's themes of identity and secrecy and, hiding who you are from those around you. Like, there's those things. They don't really dig in and really quite say anything about those. It feels closer to having the motifs of those things than digging into the thematic content. And I think that's really what sort of disappointed me about Goodnight Universe at the end of the day. Also, a little bit too much gameplay implementation for certain sections. It's giving, we need more gameplay in our narrative game, and I don't know if that's how they felt designing it, but I hate when I feel like that's what they felt as a player, when I feel like they need to prove that they were a video game by adding in extra sequences of doing things.
Totally.
Yeah, Janet, I am 100% right there with you, both in that, like, I think Before Your Eyes, it was my game of the year. I think it is basically a perfect game. And this game is significantly longer. We're still talking about like 3 to 4 hours as opposed to like 2 for Before Your Eyes. But that is, that's 50% more or 100% more. And it really struggles. This is not a criticism that I often levy at stories, but it's sappy in a way that I found kind of unpleasant. I think that like here's my biggest complaint about the game, and it kind of like it is many things, and it all solidified around this one thing, is I think the main character's voice performance is so sincere to the point of like edge of tears at all times that I didn't even know what were supposed to be the big impactful emotional moments of the game, because literally every line was like, and eating that soup was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. And it's like, it goes through so many of those that I was like, which part of the game is what, like Before Your Eyes is it's a very serious game about a very serious subject matter. The end of that game is basically predicated on you crying, but it works for me. And I think this kind of tries to have that tone throughout, and a lot of it, like, I did not cry at all while playing this game, and I really do feel like it's trying to make you. And it, yeah, because I'm cool, and I don't have kids. Obviously, when I have kids, I'm sure I'll cry through the whole thing. And there were. It's honestly an interesting comparison with Dispatch, because this game has a lot of celebrity voice actors. The main character is Lewis Pullman, who people may know from he was Bob in the Thunderbolts recent Marvel movie. He's in he's in Top Gun Maverick. I think he's very good, and I just don't think he was like directed well, basically. On the other hand, Timothy Simons is in this game, who's Jonah from Veep, and is super dialed in, playing a kind of Zuckerberg-y character. And like, he was great. And I loved him. And Haley, I totally agree with you that like some of the ESP tuning in to, they're like, there's one moment early on when you're tuning into a character's head that is like truly laugh out loud funny in a way that I was not expecting at all, and I don't want to spoil. So like, there are things that work, but ultimately it's just like it's taking itself so seriously for so long that eventually it all kind of stopped working for me. I just like I felt like I checked out because I don't know, it kind of felt like it was trying too hard almost.
Yeah, I think I'm a bit hotter on it than the two of you, but I still feel the sentiments you're feeling. Like it's kind of, I guess I played them in the wrong order. So maybe that's why, like, to play Before Your Eyes before this, it's almost kind of like you're like, all right, make me cry again. Like, do you think that's kind of what it felt like? Because that game was so emotionally moving and so, like, that last couple minute scene in Before Your Eyes is like one of my new favorite moments in games, period. Like I was absolutely sobbing, but with like a thumbs up, like on my hand.
Degree. I mean, I gotta be honest, and like, I don't know, maybe this is kind of a toxic take. I don't actually know for a fact that I did cry at the end of Before Your Eyes. Like, I just gotta be so for real with you. I don't cry
if you didn't.
I don't cry at media a lot. I just don't. Like, it's maybe, you know, we could unpack that in therapy if the Patreon gets big enough, but like I just don't.
Better Quest Goal.
And I think sometimes with like a game like Before Your Eyes, or lots of games that are like sad, sometimes like when people have a conversation on them, I'm not saying this is what's happening here because that game is incredible. It's like, oh, it's great because it's sad. And it almost feels like Goodnight Universe thought, oh, well, what's great is something sad. It's like, no, the reason that, yes, Before Your Eyes is sad, but the reason Before Your Eyes works so well, again, without spoiling it, is I think it sets up a very familiar narrative construction of your kind of, again, without giving too much away, like living your life again, you're kind of reflecting on your life and like going through these memories. And it feels very like, it's still really good and interesting. But then as it goes further, there's a bit of a twist or recontextualization of what's happened before. And that becomes so impactful because of everything that happened before that. And the game was good throughout. So it's like, oh, this is a good game. Oh, wow, this is like, now we're getting into like the pantheon of narrative game territory, built on, you know, so many great uses of I think mechanics and perspective and really truly putting you in a character's shoes. And I think that's why it works. Well, with Goodnight Universe, it felt like I am in a character's shoes, but like I just don't really care as much. I don't feel as invested. There were points where I was invested. I think early on in the game, I'm like, wow, like this is really fun. It's different. I'm curious where the story is going to go. And that curiosity did take me through almost all of the game. But to kind of echo what you mentioned, Jacob, like I do think this game feels a bit too long, and not too long in the hour count, but just too long in the, I get to that point where like, cool, you sort of revealed your narrative hand. I know what's happening now. And now we end. And they're like, just down that hallway. And I'm like, and now we end. Like, oh, take another right. And now we end. And it just felt like it really dragged
Return of the King ending. Like it keeps ending, but Return of the King has kind of earned it. And in this, it was just kind of like,
no,
where
none
are
of
we
the endings
going with
felt
this?
that. Like, I think the height of this game came like probably in the 2/3 mark. Like when you're sort of looking at a journal, is what I'll say without spoiling it. Like I thought when it hit that point, I'm like, okay, now we're really cooking. We're doing something visually creative. We're getting backstory on a character. We're connecting dots. We're learning about this. But yeah, I just kind of, I feel like I don't know what they wanted to say, but I didn't care about what they ended up saying. Like I felt like they didn't have anything interesting to say. And thus like things like presentation did falter by the end, where it's like, well, this feels like a very typical video game with a very novel mechanic by a team that I know can tell good stories that told a story instead of like a really affecting one.
Can I just say it's such a relief at this point that a game like this came out and it's not going to be another 210 contender. Like we don't have to worry about the amount of slots.
Hey, not too much on these narrative games. Okay, it's no documentary game. Okay, like just let me have this.
We can say we need to have one baby game on there. We can take that angle.
We need one baby game. Yeah, this could be the baby game.
How does it work technically? Because like as much as I like Before Your Eyes, I feel like the camera tech worked like, I don't know, 60% of the time. I played a little. I didn't finish it, but I replayed some of Before Your Eyes in PlayStation VR 2, which was like the first time the tech like truly worked for me.
Crying in a headset would be
in PSVR 2
hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chat said baby steps also for the baby game that we can put on. 2 cents.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, because it's like it's tracking your head movement and facial expressions, right?
It's
Does it work?
It worked for me. I know it didn't work for you, Janet, though. But yeah, it's your blinking, your facial expression, and head direction. At the start, it calibrates like what a smile is for you. It's kind of funny. It's like be really happy. You're like, it's like now you're sad.
Yeah. It worked. So it's like worked for Haley, didn't work for Janet, kind of worked a medium for me. But the problem is like with this kind of mechanic, you really want it to be 100% of the time and it working. I about twisted my head off trying to tune to some of those ESP frequencies. And eventually I had to just turn that part off. And you can turn them off individually. And maybe something about where my webcam is, it couldn't tell that I was like turning my head. But I also think unfortunately, it's like the blinking and before your eyes. I think it's the idea of the game. You blink and time moves forward. That's the primary mechanic in Before Your Eyes. And in this, they're trying to do much more with it. And I don't quite. They really got lightning in a bottle with that blink and time moves forward. And nothing in this game feels quite that clever. You can kind of, as the baby, you can use ESP by closing your eyes, and then things will happen. You can turn, and then the facial expression thing really felt like it was crying out for like, oh my gosh, I organically smiled while playing this, and that made something happen in the game. But instead, you have to do this like really exaggerated smile or frown to do it, and they tell you every time they're doing it. And so it's just like, Mommy, do you want me to read you a story? And then you go like, or like, like it's like it has to be
frowning
so
for audio listeners and smiling. And he looks incredible. Don't you the video?
It looks very
so
normal. It looks like, human emotion that you
not
would
like
totally
the Joker
understand.
at all.
No.
Yeah, and so
Before Your Eyes worked 100% of the time for me. So I feel like I wonder if this is just luck of the draw for what your setup is almost.
Quality, lighting.
Yeah,
Big
but
eye
like
size.
Yeah, I don't know.
Some of the ESP stuff is really good, and there's like a thing where like I'll make up a situation. It's not in the game, but it's kind of like something in the game where it's like, oh, I'm running. I'm running towards a big gap, and am I gonna make it over the gap? Close your eyes, and then you open them, and it's like, oh my gosh, I made it. Like in this kind of fun, like I'm learning to jump, sort of way, and that's really cool. But for every one of those, there are several more that kind of don't emotionally resonate that much.
Yeah, I really like the ESP searching people's brain stuff like a lot. And then, like, not to bring up aphantasia literally anytime I'm on MinnMax stuff, but I was like, is this just because I don't have an inner monologue and it's fun to pretend I can hear other people's inner monologues? Like when you track your mom's, like the first time you do it, you're like, oh, I'm going to listen and see what my mom's so upset about. And you like do the tune thing. And I think it was tricking my brain because I was actively doing something and then a result was happening. It wasn't just button presses. I was almost kind of like, oh, it's kind of like I'm thinking these thoughts in my head, and this must be fun. Like,
did it feel
Haley,
envy?
if you want a game like with like inner monologue and stuff like that, I have a great recommendation for you. It's called Marvel's Deadpool VR. If you just want to hear someone's inner monologue,
that's what VR sounds like. Yeah,
that's where I think this was a little bit different because I know most games that have inner monologues.
I bet
all
it's
the time,
a lot a bit different, actually.
It's probably pretty similar to Deadpool VR and Boss Baby the game are a little different, but I think here
the only one on Earth who will have played both, so he's gonna be the only one who can tell us.
Right. Which Jacob
was like. Sorry, go ahead,
I was just trying to squeeze it in because you were coughing. Obviously, you were in the middle of something, but I thought it was going to bail you out. I do want to know if Jacob thinks you feel more like a baby in this game or more like Deadpool in Deadpool VR.
That's a great question.
Great question. I think you feel like a baby in this. I think it does a good job of making you feel like a baby.
Yeah, right. You get uppies and everything. That's great.
part of, to say more good things about the game, I think it would be constantly funny if you had a baby. Like the kind of joke of the whole game is the baby has a very adult internal monologue, and that's funny. Yeah. That's a funny bit. And so
they
it's
made a whole movie about that called Look Who's
That's right. Look who's thinking now.
Young Sheldon.
There's too much sex to even bring up.
It's a boy. He's a young boy.
His baby shades. I don't know.
And so like there are a lot of parts of the game where you are like trying to do something adult and you inadvertently end up doing a classic baby behavior. And like that's funny. Is it funny every time the game does it? Maybe not. But like it is in the same way that it's like funny to think like, what is my cat thinking? I'm sure it is funny to be like, my baby does that. What if he has ESP?
Yeah, I would agree that like overall I do love Before Your Eyes so much more, which is tough because this is just trying to make every experience of Before Your Eyes improve with new tech. So, but the concept of blinking and something happens, the best use case is you're thinking back on your life and you want to stay in the moment. I don't know about you guys, but I was playing it. I literally was like this because I was trying to hear what people were saying. And I was like,
flash before your eyes. Yes, and it's like
because like someone would be saying
so
something
affecting.
interesting and my eyes were watering and I was like, oh, what you gonna say? I was like, hold them open. Like there was so much more.
Cheating.
I'm a human being and doing human being things, but also interacting with media than like instead of just holding a controller than this, where it was kind of just like you look at something and blink and it goes. Psh, like I could have just pressed X on a controller and the same effect would have happened. But there was still other moments where it did kind of feel like I was tricking my brain into having an internal monologue, for example. And I was like, wow, being human is so fun. But yeah, I think overall I like that they're doing this stuff. Like can you guys think of other eye tracking games that like aren't just like a VR game that's just tracking where you want to look to shoot or something like that? Like this feels still like a pretty novel concept.
Mario Jamboree or something.
Yeah, maybe
it's them and Mario Jamboree carrying art on their back.
There was,
I mean, I think that is really novel. Yeah.
There's of course we all remember the DSi, everyone's favorite DS before 3DS. But there was a game, I can't remember what it's called, and apologies, but where it would simulate stereoscopic 3D before the 3DS by tracking your face, and like when you tilted the phone with the DS, it would angle the 3D environment in the DSi to like make it look stereoscopic 3D in a way that was like neat, but I can't even remember the name of the game, which is telling. So there you go. There's your one example.
Yeah, I like that they're sticking to their guns and they're like, we're really good at writing and also we're the face tracking people, I guess is like what Nice Dream is trying to stick out. And this was effective. Like I would recommend this to somebody to try, but I probably would always recommend Before Your Eyes first.
It is a novel enough experience that it's like, if you're interested in stories in games, you should try it out. It's maybe a little overlong, but it's still only 4 hours. And there are a lot of good moments in it, but it's so hard to like hit it out of the park on your first game and then be like, well, not another perfect masterpiece. Sorry.
Yeah. I will say I'm a little less into Goodnight Universe and a little more into Goods Uncommon lately. You know what I'm talking about? Uncommon Goods is sponsoring this show this week. Thank you so much. It's Christmas, folks. You basically missed it. It's basically Christmas. You basically haven't bought any of your gifts and you're scared. You're stressed. I've been there. I'm gonna be there.
I'm panicking.
Absolutely. Uncommon Goods, great gifts for all the weirdos in your life. What's we got here? Moms and dads to kids and teens, from book lovers, history buffs, and diehard football fans to foodies. They got gifts for everybody.
That's everyone.
Haley, Janet, you talked about this on Pew Pew Bang too, right?
Yeah, I use Uncommon Goods every year, and before they even sponsored us, that's how much I like them. I always go and I look and I do a big order, and I usually try to knock out 3 or 4 different people spunky gifts. I usually get my godmother something because she's a gardener. There's tons of gardener stuff in there. They got golfing crap for your dad. My dad loves a golf thing. Get him a golf thing. And then I kind of just flick around, and it has like weird spunky stuff that you'll go, a wiener dog bowl. My friend has a wiener dog. She'd love that. And you just buy it, and then you're done for her for Christmas. It's perfect.
My friend's wiener dog is starving. I'll get this for her.
My friend who abuses her wiener dog. She'll love this.
So don't wait. Buy some gifts for Christmas, and you can get 15% off your next gift by going to uncommongoods.com/MinnMax with 2 N's. Uncommongoods.com/MinnMax with 2 N's for 15% off. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary. That's their words. I'm normal.
Leo, you are knocking it out of the park with the ads, and normally I'd say good job, but you're showing me up, and I'm kind of pissed the hell off, dude.
Oh, sorry. Is it help that I'm throwing to you for the testimonials for them?
A little bit. That does help. Thank you for that.
It would be much, much worse without you.
That's good. Okay, now I feel better. Now you can keep doing them. All right, our final game before the secret sauce splatters the screen. We're going to reassess Lumines Arise. The fun from the creators of Tetris Effect connected. I know a lot of people on this call love Tetris Effect. We talked about it last week. We actually had one of the lead developers, Mark McDonald, on last week as well. But We weren't on last week, and we could talk about it too. So hot.
And now that someone who worked on the game isn't here, we can really like rip into this game.
I hate squares. I hate
none that more of us have played it.
squares.
So I think last week a lot of people hadn't either. So
yeah. Well, this is the latest Lumines game. I personally have never played any Lumines, so I'm a little bit dumb on this topic. Okay, cool.
Either.
oh,
my
this is
God.
the first one. That's so funny.
Oh my God,
Well,
who
I-
loves Lumines?
I've been playing since the beginning, so I'm cool.
Whoa.
Okay, no one likes you here
Wow.
because we all decided we didn't play it before, Kyle. Well, actually, this is a great moment then, Kyle, because I would love for, if you're down for it, to explain what this game is, because it is a little. There's you make squares disappear,
And
but
what
it
it
is
is-
kind of convoluted feeling.
What it is classically versus this version of it too.
It's funny. I am a longtime Lumines fan. I played it on PSP. Which if you owned a PSP, you played a lot of Lumines. It was the law.
I had one and I didn't play it.
Same.
That was the law.
Did you have it at launch?
Arrest
Did you
me,
get a launch
Kyle.
PSP?
Yep. Oh, no, not long. I wasn't rich. Okay, I was a
Okay, I
child.
was about
I
to
got it like
say,
a year.
like,
I got it like a year or two after like any other kid on the south side of Chicago. Okay, take your time.
But the sort of like thing I realized when Lumines Arise came out that I never connected the dots to before is that the structure of the game, right? There's the basic puzzle mechanics, which are very solid and fun. But the idea of it like changing art styles and music every few minutes, that's always been there for Lumines. And it was like, I had this sort of revelation. I was like, oh yeah, Tetris Effect actually took this from Lumines. Like that whole idea of like changing aesthetic and music every few minutes and like changing the pace and stuff like that. Like that's all Lumines stuff. And then it's just like Tetris Effect just turned it up, in an amazing way, and Lumines Arise does the same thing. I really liked Lumines Arise, and it was a great excuse to break out the PSVR too. It was an interesting experience to play Deadpool VR and then play Lumines Arise VR, which is like, I found that like my favorite VR experiences are the ones where you kind of just sit still and look ahead, and it's more about the peripheral sort of. I mean, Beat Saber is a game like that, and Tetris Effect and Lumines Arise are some of my favorite. Pistol Whip is another one.
For the VR industry.
I know, like it's like
Pistol Whip is pretty
Well,
active.
you stand up for Beat Saber. You're standing.
Yeah, but
It's just like, you're saying you're not exploring a space. You're just
you're not
stuff's
moving.
happening to you.
Yeah, like
instead of you going out and doing stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, but I really like Lumines Arise a lot. I think the shine, I guess you could say, of like Tetris Effect kind of like, it was kind of like you play. I played it and I was kind of like, oh, this is familiar now. It's not quite as shocking as it was for Tetris Effect, but I love Lumines mechanics. It is like very handily like my second favorite sort of puzzle mechanic after Tetris. I don't even know that whatever third place might be even comes close. I don't, maybe like Bejeweled
Picross?
or something. I don't even know. Yeah, I guess Picross.
Yeah, you are
Picross
really
is not,
into Picross.
but they're just different subgenres of puzzles. Like Picross is like you take your time,
So you're
where
cheating
like,
and answering the question.
I mean, we could speed run some Picross puzzles if we want to have a race. But yeah, I mean, there's a different emotion when you're playing Lumines or Tetris, where it's like things are constantly happening. You're filling the well. You're trying to delete things. Where Picross is closer to Sudoku, right? Where you're sort of taking your time. Like you guys are right. They're both puzzle games that I love, but until this moment, I hadn't ever really considered them like being the same category in any way, shape, or form. But it's fair, I think.
One of the really interesting experiences that I had with this was like, I'm not great at Tetris, but like I can't remember not knowing how to play Tetris. It's just kind of like it is just a game that like I don't even know how I would kind of unlearn and then relearn it. Once you know how to play Tetris, you just know how to play Tetris. And this was really interesting because like as a conscious adult, I was like, I just have to learn a new Tetris, and I found it like really challenging. And I played through the whole campaign, but I did it on easy the whole time. And I'm kind of interested in like now seeing if I could go back and do it on normal. But like it was weird because I would get frustrated and I would just be like, I just need to wait until my brain kind of builds the wiring to understand how this works in the same way that you do with Tetris. And the reason that I can play Tetris now is just because I've played it, for a million hours in the past. And so being on like hour 5 of Lumines and being like, why can't I make the squares? I was like, because the only way that you get good at this is you're kind of like your subconscious internalizes it. And then I could feel that happening. And that was really neat to kind of like be able to see myself getting better at this thing.
I dream of where you are, Jacob, because I am stuck at this game so bad. Same deal. I have played Tetris. I don't know how good I am at Tetris. I'm not competing, you know. It's like, it's not that serious, but I feel really comfortable playing it, and like I can do the different challenges, yeah. But this same deal, and maybe it really is as simple or complex as Tetris secretly, if you like grew up with both of them at the same time. I find Luminous to be wildly more complicated. I think because like the width of the puzzle space is so much wider. It feels like the drops happen faster, and also which also, to preface, I like this game a lot. I'm really enjoying it, but I am really bad at it. And there's a lot going on, which is part of the fun. I think it's much like Tetris Effect or like OG Luminous, right? Like it's both overstimulating, but so overstimulating that I become relaxed again. But I am kind of like staring at it, trying to think of so many things at once of, okay, well, I should build on this side of the board, and then the timeline's going to move and clear it, but I don't want to clear it yet. But then what piece? Oh, it shows me what pieces are coming down before. I wish I had a strategy for those pieces, which I think is the missing link, where like in Tetris, you know, I'm not very good in that. I'm always waiting just for the long boy. That's just like, once that long piece comes in, we're going to clean this whole board up. Here, I don't really have a version of that. I don't have stress to rely on, so I am just kind of piecing things, and then it gets higher, and then they're like art style change, and then like the music will go from something, and the visuals will go from being something really calming, you know, you'll be like on a beach and like it's circle, you know, water droplets and little like shells, and then they're like club, another club, and I'm like, what's happening? What is this shape? How is this?
Vegetables.
Okay, the vegetables level has been my favorite level so far, because the vegetables have never looked so good. The PR on vegetables, the stock in vegetables has to be shooting through the roof from that level alone. But yeah, that's definitely been a challenge. I started on standard because I'm a liar, because it even says like standards for people who have played Luminous before or are good at puzzle games. I'm not either, but I was like, ooh, that's me. No, it's not. I'm down to easy, and honestly, I'm going to turn on some of the modifiers, of which there are many, which I think is really cool. They also have continues on the levels, which I think are really cool. So it's a very friendly game for if you're bad at it, which is convenient because I am. But I am hoping to just, I think that's maybe my only criticism of the game. They do have a tutorial section, but it's so hard to learn that I'm not quite sure the best ways to get better. And the tutorials are such like a isolated moment that I find them not very easy to replicate in my playtime. They haven't been totally useless. Like I have used some of those strategies in improving my game and my understanding of the game. But I do think despite it being really fun and friendly in that sense, the onboarding is quite tough in some ways.
Yeah, the tutorial stuff is a lot of like, here's a good strategy for this type of piece. So like you're a little more prepared, but yeah, it's not. Yeah, the only way to get better is like practice, right? Which is like a lame.
I need like a backseater to tell me actually this should go here. This should go here.
I don't even know what the backseater would do, because it's like I can't
how to make the square big.
It's like I can't name why I started getting better at it. Like it's like I could, it wasn't like, oh, I put this together. I mean, it's just kind of like, I guess you kind of start thinking like one more step in advance than you were before, but even that is just kind of like learned. It is weird where it's just kind of like, I don't know. You know, there are probably ways that you could be tutorialized, but like I was like, the only way for me to get better at this is to just kind of play it, and I did. One of the things that I think is interesting about this, and I'm curious if y'all had this experience, is in Tetris Effect there were different stages, but I found them all about the same level of like readable. You know, they're just like, it's Tetris Effects in this one. In this one, the different stages, I can visually parse some of them so much better than others, and sometimes one pops up. There's the break core one with the eggs that are turning into birds. I always like panic because the music is so fast and the eggs and birds are not making sense as things to make squares out of for me. And it's just like, it's kind of funny and kind of part of the game that it's like, it goes from like a calming environment to a city environment. And suddenly I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, even though the game mechanics have not changed at all.
Yeah, Tetris has the benefit of not having to be two colors. Well, I guess it is. They are different colors usually, but
they don't need to.
But it's all about the shapes, you know, than the color. Yes. Well, this is all about the colors.
That's what I'm saying. Like that makes it more harder to parse. It's funny, actually. This is not very relevant, but just interesting. As I reviewing, and maybe you guys caught it too, but like I played it one day before there was like a day one patch where other players' screen names would get like stuck in the background, and sometimes it would like blend in. It was rough. It was one of those things where I emailed them and I was like, this is a bug, right? And they're like, yes, it's a bug. It's like, okay,
Dan Reichert's name just in the middle of your playable
exactly. Yeah. So
the thing that I do want to say about this that is a little more negative is someone needs to tell Mizuguchi that some music is bad. And this is my biggest complaint with the game, and it was there a little bit in Tetris Effect, and I feel like he got too confident, and it's like there is so much bad music in Lumines Arise, and it really is a bummer because like the good music is so good, and like when it's kind of like the electronic-y stuff, the EDM, the like chameleon rave level is like my favorite level, and I really feel like everything is clicking, but it feels like a good 30% of the songs are like the interstitial music that they play on Love Island when they're like going to a commercial, and it's like, is this a real song or did they just make this up for this, where it's like, we were together but now we're apart, and it's just like that. It's just like the worst song I've ever heard while I'm playing the game, and it really, it's the miss rate is just much higher in this than Tetris Effect. And
are we all on the same page here with Jacob? Because I feel like I don't agree. I don't think any crack. Not really. I don't know.
I'm not on the same page, but I read the same page because I feel like I kind of like that some of it's bad. Like some of it, would I listen to this on Apple Music? Absolutely not. But in the context of here, and this is both a compliment and a diss, some of the songs, especially like the vocal, like kind of synth pop songs, they sound like mall music. Like I feel like someone's gonna walk up to me and say, just so you know, we have a 20% off on whatever. Cause like, and it's just, but I kind of like that because it's like, I feel like I'm catching a vibe off of it, like even though it's music. Not kind of, I feel like honestly, I don't know how many of you guys have watched Marriage Story, but the thing I posted on Blue Sky is like the opening of Marriage Story where the ex-wife is dancing in the community theater. That's how I feel listening to the Lumines Arise music, which is like, is that music I like? No, but it's like in this specific context, it's like, yeah, I'm kind of into it, but it is, some of it can be quite like, I don't know, a little generic-y or like cheesy, but I end up liking it in the context because all of it feels like a fever dream. So it's like, do I like UK rap very much? No, it's usually like sounds like but I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, when it's like playing in this. And I think that's something about like, I don't know, almost like when there can be good music at a club, but sometimes when you go to a club, like stuff that hits in the club might not hit in the car, or stuff that hits in the car, like in the context, I think it works. But yeah, like I don't think it's like the greatest music of all time, but it fits the vibes. And I'm like there for the vibes.
My question is Kyle, the original Lumines had licensed tracks, right? Like you were playing along with like music by known musical artists?
That's a good question. I think maybe the first game, if it did, there were very few, and then the sequel, which was on Vita, I think had a lot. I think it might.
Okay.
And I know that they were even talking to Daft Punk at one time to like do like a full, like have Daft Punk do the soundtrack for like Lumines. I don't know, that which would have been amazing. But that fell through because they had to go make Tron or something, which is a fantastic soundtrack. So
I think my problem is not that I don't like the genre, because I've played plenty of games where it's like I'm down with the genre in the context of the game, but just it sounds like knockoffs of that genre. You know, like the London rap song feels like Mizuguchi wrote a London rap track and then hired someone to sing it rather than like getting an artist. And I don't know how these were made, but like they're just so
That's how London rap sounds. Sorry, all the London people out there. I never Central C. I don't know if he's from London, but
it's like I can't ignore the lyrics. I wish they could just fade into the background, but they're so forefronted and they're so boring.
It's the lyrics that are tricky for sure. Tetris Effect, maybe it's rose-colored glasses, but I feel like a little more subtle with the themes of its lyrics. And this one's really, each song has a point and you're going to know it.
You are
and then I feel bad when I'll redo the levels a bunch because I'm bad at it, and like I'm sitting next to Isaiah and I'm like, I hope you're like okay with hearing this song for like the 5th time because I can't figure out the timing on how to get out of here.
So it'd be a bad song to play in bed next to your partner. They might get mad.
We should play the Chameleon Rave.
Yeah,
and I do. Yeah, it's
relaxing.
I have nothing but fun in the thing. But yes, it is kind of, they're a bit cheesy, but I like the cheese in this context.
Yum.
Good cheese versus bad cheese.
Is this the best place to play Lumines? Kyle, I guess that question's directed towards you because you played so many of them.
Well, yeah. I mean, there haven't been that many, to be clear. Like there's the PSP game was the one that I got obsessed with, and then they ported that to Switch a couple of years ago, and I got re-obsessed with it. And then there's like one or two others, I think. But
there's 11 actually.
Yeah.
There's 11. This is the 11th.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
Well, I'm wrong then, I guess. I thought there were. Yeah. Okay. I thought. I'll have to look at that list because I feel like some of them they're probably like
might just be like a remake or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I could be.
Because they had a remaster the other day.
It has happened.
Like a few years ago, the other day.
Yeah. I Lumines Arise is fantastic, but it is kind of singular, right? There's like a campaign that you kind of beat, right?
Okay.
But like Lumines Remastered on Switch is like the one that I would like if I'm gonna go, like if I want to just like try to get a high score, like the Lumines Remastered for Switch is fantastic. Like that was like for a long time that was like my ride an elliptical, indoors and just try to hit a high score in Lumines. Like that was a really great way to turn your brain off and just like focus.
I think those modes, those modes are present in Arise though, right? Like
there's no endless mode.
Oh, really?
Yeah, unless like I looked around and you can also like you can make your own playlist, but there's no like see how long you can like just go for.
It feels like an oversight. I would think that would be a main mode.
Yeah. But I mean, Lumines Arise is definitely like the flashy, fancy, beautiful, like genuinely like emotionally moving sometimes version in the same way Tetris Effect was. But like classic Lumines, like just great straight ahead like Lumines gameplay. The remaster version that's on Switch is really great. I really like that one a lot.
Tessa says a marathon mode. I don't know if that's different than an endless mode though.
Okay. Yeah.
Lumines Arise.
Again. I've been wrong before. It has happened.
But you should be able to easily find it if that's such a desirable thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even like local versus, which is not a way that not what I enjoy about Lumines. That's kind of funky the way you have to go do that too, is because like you go into the online area and then you can make a room where you play locally with one other person if you want to do competitive Lumines, which is odd, but it does exist, which Tetris Effect initially did not have multiplayer in a strange way. But I don't really like I know Ben, loves like competitive puzzle games. Like I know he plays like the Street Fighter puzzle game a lot, but I don't enjoy that. That's not what I'm looking for from a puzzle game. So
hi Ben.
Hi Ben.
Get
out of here, Ben. Go take care of your kid.
I'm sorry.
He's probably holding the baby.
I cannot believe we're still talking about this when the next thing on the docket is Haley's special sauce.
Yeah, I want to see that sauce.
Oh yeah, that's Lumines Arise. Final thoughts?
That's it. I like it.
Yeah. It's out on PS5 and PC VR capability.
Nice.
Let me see here. Anything you need to interrupt before I get to special sauce, Leo, or are we good?
Hold on. Hello?
Any calls? Oh.
Wrong number.
Okay, cool. Let me see here. It says on this resume, Kyle, you used to work retail for GameStop?
That's correct. Yeah, for like 7 years.
That's good experience. That's good experience. Anyone else have retail experience here?
Yeah, I also worked at GameStop seasonally.
Oh, we got another GameStop. That's cool.
I worked at a burger store, kind of like retail.
Burgers are kind of like games.
Burgers.
Is
Burgers
that a
have
restaurant?
layers.
What's a burger
Yes.
store?
It was a restaurant.
Oh, okay.
You can
Okay.
call it that.
Okay. You're
What
like,
about you, Leo? You
innovative.
ever worked retail?
No, service jobs, not retail.
Oh, you got some spunk to you. I think I'll hire you anyways. All right, so you guys are all hired for
Oh, yay.
my game
Finally,
store.
you have no idea how much I need this, Haley. Thank God.
This is
Our
my
jobs
game
in the
store.
game industry.
Game Halt. We haven't gotten the
game
trademark finished yet, but we're gonna get it soon. Anyways, you're all hired. I don't have time to train you. I'm gonna leave. If any customers come, can you help them figure out what games they need?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Great. Let me just do this really quick for 2 seconds for no reason. 1 sec.
Okay, she covered her camera
Yeah.
for no reason.
This is that moment
told.
where I'm like, God, I hope no one walks into the store until I leave. Check out
Look,
for
this
work.
is my favorite part of having jobs is just chatting with the coworkers when there's no customers around.
No, but
Yeah.
guys, we got to be alphabetizing these shelves. That's like 90% of working at Game Halt is just making sure the games are alphabetized on the shelves.
And if you have time to lean, you do have time to clean as well.
Yeah,
That's right.
that's what I heard.
Kyle and Janet, when you were at GameStop, do you remember? Did you have any good recommendations, or were you trying to push people towards certain games?
I don't remember what games I specifically recommended, but I know there was a guy that walked in and he wanted to get like a refurbished PS3 and he had never had a PS3 and we got to just like recommend cool PS3 games to him. That was cool, but I didn't have like a specific agenda necessarily or like a game I was really trying to sell. What I really
you
liked
seem
about
like the guy
GameStop was
with an
getting to borrow stuff from the binder was fun.
I'm sure Janet had the same thing. I mean, like we would be encouraged to get reserves and to sell, the card, Game Informer subscriptions and whatnot. But like there was never any dictation of like make sure that we sell out all our Maddens. That's like important. Like that was never like that.
Are
at least
you
my time
open?
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Come
come
on
on in.
in.
Welcome to GameStop. Can I help you with anything?
We're kind of overstaffed.
Game Halt. I'm sorry.
Game
Whoa.
Oh my gosh, Moses!
Sorry. I'm sorry about my reaction.
What? Yeah. Why did you act like that when you saw me?
A lot of hair.
This is, children's toys is what we sell. here. You're clearly an old man.
It's in the room.
I'm
I'm
an
gonna
old
name
man.
it. You have a lot of hair, beard and hair.
Yeah, audio listeners, I don't know why I'm saying that. I'm in a store. I'm an old man. Listen, it's Christmas time. I have a granddaughter who I love more than anything, and she's a stupid gamer. And there's some games she wants, and I can't remember what they are. Can you help me figure out what they are?
Yeah. What kind
Or-
of? Do you know what kind of controller she has? What does it look like?
I don't know any of that crud.
You don't know. We don't know what
No.
color it is or anything.
Probably
it's-
pink.
does it have a built-in screen or does she play it on the TV?
Kyle,
She
you're
goes
scaring
in her room
him.
and games. You're scaring me. You're scaring me. Firstly, can you guys guess my name?
Hagrid?
And then that's a good guess.
Canceled.
Moses?
That's a good guess.
Rumpelstiltskin.
Skin's a good guess. What about you, little girl?
Santa?
No, I'm Grandpa Lewin.
Oh.
Kelsey's grandpa. I know she
okay.
has a game store, but I'm going to buy from a competitor because I'm a piece of crap.
Wait, okay. You're getting games for your granddaughter.
I'm getting games for my granddaughter Kelsey.
who famously owns a video game store.
She doesn't have these ones I want.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna describe them. Could you help me figure out what they are?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Sir.
Okay, this first one, I think it's about camping. Does that ring
Gosh.
any bells? Something
Camping
about
game.
Ohio.
Is it
I was
pink?
gonna suggest chilling by the fire.
Yeah, I would
No,
chill
that
out there,
doesn't
but that
sound
did not get a
right.
physical release. So I don't think we would be carrying that here.
That doesn't sound right.
The
Well,
game's
Is it
about
Red Dead Redemption
Ohio.
2?
That doesn't sound right at all, little lady.
Okay, camping. Can you tell me
Everyone's-
something else about the game?
Is
Yeah,
there a
let me
reason why it reminds you of Ohio?
Something about that. I've just heard the word Ohio said a lot when it comes to this game.
What's the game?
Also-
You're watching for Firewatch, right? That was funny.
No, that's not right.
I wonder, is this like
Wyoming.
the Zoomer game? Because that's like the
Hey,
new
that's
joke, like Ohio.
The kids like it? Yeah, maybe. Everyone's
Dark
jumping
Souls?
around like they got a glow sticks up their butt. And they all
It's
got a
not
bee in their pants.
He doesn't have
and
his
they're,
release.
they're running all over the place. The public transport seems pretty efficient in this game.
Is it Pokemon Sword and Shield?
No, that's wrong.
Is it Jet Set Radio?
No.
Sim City.
No.
Sir, I will need more
There's
clues.
there's
Attack?
staircases that lead to nowhere? What the hell? What's the point of that? You can build them
Bloodborne?
yourself? What the hell?
What the
Oh,
hell?
Fortnite?
Fortnite! That's the one. I would like that, please, in a box. Fortnite.
I don't know. Does
Sure.
that
I'll
exist?
try.
I'll just hand you a card.
In a box? I don't know.
Did
We'll
you get
some
the
V-Bucks.
camping
Give you a-
thing? Because Fortnite just sounds like a camping word. That's why he was confused.
Oh, it does?
Why?
Yeah, that's how you have to think
Sounds
about
like an
this.
Abraham Lincoln word.
I'm breaking character. That's how you have to think about this. Okay.
Okay.
Breaking character? What's happening right now?
What are you talking about? You're confusing an old man. I thought you all had retail experience. I'm not being treated well.
You're gonna scare him out of the store. You have the most.
You're scaring
experience.
me.
I'm sorry.
How much is Fortnite?
It's free.
Yeah, great.
It
news.
depends on how
Free?
many V-Bucks you have on the
Why am I
you-
even in here?
how about we
Great
just put
question.
this aside for you and then you check out all at once at the end of this
Okay.
transaction.
You
Good
could
idea.
get your
Sounds
granddaughter some cool skins in Fortnite.
Oh,
she
she'd
could
like
play
that.
as Marge Simpson or Goku.
Oh, she likes Goku. I'll do that. All right, here's the next game.
Wait, you know that she likes Goku? Okay.
I love Goku. I love
Everyone
Dragon
likes
Ball.
Goku,
I
Kyle.
like Goku
Grow
too.
up.
Don't get me wrong.
Goku's generationally loved.
Absolutely.
Here's the next one.
He's a grandpa
There's-
himself, so he's very relatable.
That's why I love him. I got a Goku tattoo on my ass cheeks. A lot of girls are all over the place in this game. They're all over the place. It's confusing. They have different colored outfits, and they keep speaking in slang I don't get.
Splatoon.
Sume?
No,
Infinity Nikki?
no, that doesn't sound
Dead or
right.
alive?
That one's pretty sexy, but not that one.
Fan of that
No.
one.
Oh, you like Dead or Alive?
Grandpa Lewin likes Dead or Alive on his
some
own
volleyball.
console at home. There's some lady.
Is it Inzoi?
It's not
Does she want
Inzoi.
Inzoi.
This game just seems like it would make me confused and sad.
1,000
And-
times
For
resist?
your eyes.
It's 1,000 times resist. That's correct.
That's a tricky name.
That's a tricky one. I
saw it
also
in
was gonna
chat and I
say.
wasn't sure if we should use it. That's why I just said it.
I was gonna say back in my day we'd be happy with just one or two resists, but kids are spoiled these days.
Inflation.
The thousands.
Sure.
Inflation, yes. All right, a couple more. I know young Jacob Keller's shift is ending soon. This next one. You're a little corn chip who jumps around?
SpongeBob?
No. It's like a little, it looks nice outside and God, I wish I could move like he does, but I have old bones.
So a little corn chip because the guy running around is like a triangle.
Maybe that's what I'm on, yeah.
What are you on?
I wish I had an idea that led me
Pain
to.
medication.
I know.
Oh.
Oh, I'm
This
sorry to hear that.
Oh.
This character's wearing a dress and men shouldn't wear those.
Final
bit
Fantasy
bigoted.
7?
Kyle,
No.
that's where I was going.
That's not right.
Specifically for PlayStation 1, when he looked like a chip.
Triangle
No.
Fantasy? Or what is Triangle Strategy?
Strategy.
Fancy.
Triangle Fantasy?
Think about the
Um,
triangle thing that Jacob was on. That's pretty apropos.
Grandpa Lewin, do you have any more hints other than the character's a triangle?
I wouldn't want this character in my house. He'd track in
Is
too
it that-
much sand.
Is it that, well, no, sand, I don't know. Is it that Katamari Damacy?
No, that one's cute though. I've heard of that one.
Sand.
What do you
Who's
think of that theme song for
Sandy?
Katamari at Grandpa Lewin? Are you a big fan of that music?
I can't sing anymore
Oh,
after
okay.
the war.
Which war?
All
Just
of
the
them.
one.
All
I
of
was,
them.
I was in each war.
He's too
You know, the
sad to
conflict
see.
wars are
Ooh,
actually
okay.
over now officially.
I feel like
don't know if you
Chad
heard.
has it, but I don't know.
I'm
I'll
not
read from
looking at
chat if
chat.
people give
That's
up.
cheating.
Grandpa,
have it up.
What
the
is
game you're
chat?
looking for Journey?
That's cool. That's exactly right. She'll love that one. Journey.
Classic
He's a-
red chip. Red corn chip.
I didn't say color. I said shape. Yeah, with your own inference.
Also, assume that the Journey person was a man. Pretty regressive of you, Grandpa.
What can I say?
He's not going to change Jacob. I think we should just let him be.
Yeah.
Back in my day, we didn't give corn chips a gender. They just were always men. So
you gave them a gender.
man.
Well, gender's not real. I almost just said the game. Wait a second. Am I so bigoted I became woke? That's crazy.
Wow.
All right, this next one.
Circle back around.
Yeah. This is just a bunch of grown men yelling at each other, this game. That's all I've seen of it so far. It's confusing, but they have nice clothes on, though.
Yakuza.
No.
Like a Dragon.
No, that's not right.
Like a Dragon, the man who erased his name.
It's no Yakuza. Not a Yakuza.
Elite Beat Agents.
No, that sounds cool, though. I like the name of that one, little boy.
Call of Duty.
No,
do they ever like fight or shoot, or do they just yell at each other?
just yelling.
Is it Ace Attorney?
That's correct. That is
Whoa!
exactly what I'm thinking about.
Nice.
Good
Too bad your
job.
ship is ending soon. This
Yeah,
is like,
God, where is your
I'm
parachute?
gonna go out on a high note, maybe.
All right, here's the very last one. I don't think you'll get it because you're allowed to Google for this one on your Game Halt machines, because this one is a crazy oldie and it's a girly game because my young granddaughter Kelsey loves pink. All right, this one
oldie girly game. Hold on, let me Google this.
This one is
Laura's
on
Adventures.
the console where you
Play
waggle
girly flash
the
games from
remote
2000.
around.
That's what we do.
Okay, it's on
This
the
is
Wii.
the console. What did you say? The Wii?
The Wii.
That sounds right. You're racing in little cars. Bunch of broads racing. Just only broads.
Is your granddaughter looking for action girls racing?
How did you get that so quickly? That's entirely correct.
The game
Is it
Halt
girls with a
servers
Z?
are really good.
Wow.
What did you Google to get that, Jacob?
I searched Wii Girl Games kart racing.
Damn it. I should
course.
have allowed
Nice.
you to look it up, actually. That made me
That was open
Oh.
book test.
How much do I owe you?
Oh, this one's on the house. But the next one's going to cost double when you come back.
Our
Yeah.
boss is gonna kill us.
That's okay.
You know what? I was
like
already put
Hansen.
in my 2 weeks, and they said,
Hansen.
just leave today. And I said, fine. So
Wow.
Well, this service has been impeccable, and you guys have opened my eyes to the concept of the erasure of the gender binary. I thank you.
You're welcome.
I really learned.
okay, yeah.
I can't wait
This
to
is
give
a really
Kelsey her
fulfilling
Christmas
job.
presents. She's going to love them.
Aw.
All
You should go
right.
to Uncommon Goods, actually. Throw this crap out.
I don't know how to do that. I buy physical media only.
I'm just shocked we had
Fortnite.
that Wii kart game in stock.
Yeah.
What are the odds?
All right. Thank you, and I'm going home. Don't call
Bye.
Bye,
me a
Grandpa.
cab. Bye.
Hi, Grandpa.
Bye, Grandpa.
Oh,
Wow. I can't believe we met Kelsey's grandfather today.
That's crazy. Think about the actual odds of that. That's like crazy. Of all the people that could have come in.
Kyle, do you think we should end our shift in the traditional way by clapping out and then
that's,
just disappearing from the store?
yeah, that's right. That's how I always used to do it.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, Grandpa Lewin, that guy's lovely but hard to hang out with at Thanksgiving, if you know what I mean. Nice to have him on the show. We still got Janet and Leo here.
Yeah.
Leo, how does this whole thing operate?
Patreon, Dadoy.
Dadoy.
It also operates thanks to our lovely partners at I Am 8-Bit. They've got their Black Friday sale going on right now. Do they? Is this old copy? No, Black Friday's coming up. Yeah, Thanksgiving. Yeah, Black Friday. Let's go. They got all sorts of crazy items. We talk about them every single week. You know they're crazy items. Our promo code is TURDUCKEN, TURDUCKEN, for
Nice.
10% off your order. 15%? Why don't I have that here? Check it out. You know, it could
10%.
be
It's 10.
It could be.
10.
There's a
10%.
random chance it could be 10 or 15%. That's exciting
definitely
for you
10.
to navigate there, guys. But it's more fun. It's like a loot box.
Oh, loot
Oh,
box.
yeah, sorry.
It's like a
Oh,
loot
gamers
box.
love those.
We're about
But only
to
in
do,
secret. Shh.
right. We're about to do community questions. The question of the week winner will get a very special prize this week. The prize is gonna be highly sought after. Haley's holding it up on the video version right now. It's the Hero of Time 2X LP, music from The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, with beautiful art, beautiful designs
this
on that
thing.
vinyl.
Yeah, very pretty. I own this just my own self because I wanted it. And yeah, Ocarina of Time music, super pretty. The vinyls are green and purple, I believe. It's a very lovely one to have in your collection. Good luck to everybody who's up for it today. Look how pretty this vinyl is.
And it's sold out right now at the time of this recording.
Oh, is it sold out?
Yeah.
That makes me feel
it was yesterday.
Like
The day before the time of this recording, but I didn't want to draw attention to it. But yeah, so very sought after.
Very sought after.
Nice.
You guys ready for some questions?
Yeah.
Some questions? All right, let's jump right into it. Kelsey Sims asks, any tips for getting out of a gaming slump? I've been really struggling to get anything to stick lately. Even games I was enjoying and in the middle of, like Ghost of Yotei, feel like pulling teeth when I think about playing them. I feel this. It's sometimes games aren't fun, and I don't know if that's just because my brain chemistry is weird or what. But it's hard to get out of that slump. What about you guys?
Definitely.
Yeah, I think you need both maybe a break and also like a rut buster. Like something that's really gonna something that reinvigorates your like love of the medium, something that kind of like reminds you like this is why I play, which sounds a little cheesy.
Yeah.
I think we're very prone to like game ruts because we do this for work, and I think even to this listener's point, more hardcore gaming fans are prone to this because you consume so like intensely probably that it is kind of a constant like drip feed, but also like a rat race to keep up with what's out, what people are talking about. I think also there can be times where a game that feels like it should be up your alley isn't, and that can be disappointing. We don't have a lot of information on this write-in, so it's tough to see what maybe is causing this feeling. But I think it can be good to just, walk away, take a break from gaming for a little bit, or just bounce around and try different games. Sometimes you're just kind of like not in the mood for anything, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, but that's usually what I do. I try to like taste test stuff and not put too much pressure on trying to finish something, but also like giving something a decent shot. So it's like, you know what, I'm not in the mood to really game, but maybe I put something on and I just see how it lands for me, and eventually something will kind of break through the noise. I kind of just went through this. It wasn't like as much of a slump, but it was like a nothing's grabbing me kind of moment. Once I finished Act 2 of Silk Song, I actively was like, I want to stop playing this game so that I can play other games. I'd played that game for like 50 hours, and I had missed every other game that came out at that time. I'm like, great, so many things to catch up on. And when I started to look around, I was like, I don't really want to do any of it. And I went from like gaming every night, like religiously in a way that I don't always do, to like, I show up to the sofa and like, I'm just on TikTok while The Good Doctor plays in the background. It's like just real low vibes. So, but eventually after like trying enough stuff, it's like, oh, I'm starting to really like crave stuff again. Like earlier I was talking about Lumines Arise, like that's hitting for me. I'm suddenly finally getting into like an open world craving. So I do think I'll probably try Ghost. I just downloaded that. I even got in the mood to play Red Dead Redemption 2, a game that I did not like when it first came out because I think it's too simmy for my tastes, but randomly something in my brain went, wait, what if that's exactly what you need?
Yeah.
So I think
do it.
You need to give some space for like desire to form. And part of that is dabbling, I think, too, and seeing what triggers your desire. Sorry, this sounds weirdly sexual for some reason, but I think it's true.
That's perfectly put.
Follow you as a sex
give the game a little kiss and then see how that feels and come back and
really think it over. Yeah, I like to go back because there was a period of time when I couldn't play games for like 3 years straight. It came when I was in law school. So when I'm like playing all the new hotness and I feel kind of like, oh, I'm a little bit tired of games, which is crazy because I love them. I go, what was like a crazy heater that came out when I couldn't play games? And I go back in time and just like pretend it's that era. And I'm like, oh, I'm keeping up with things. Like I did that with like Inscription. I like felt kind of down on games for a little bit. I was like, I'm gonna play Inscription because I feel like I'd always love it. And of course I did love it. Like all those games people whispered to me like, you would love this, but I just never feel like I have the time of like making time to play a game that the people that love you guarantee you'll love. And you're like, okay, I'll just go do that instead. And then you kind of feel more recharged for the thing you might not like, but might like ?
But also
you have to play.
Not if it's like against your instincts. If it's like, I've been told I should try this, but I don't feel like I'll like it. Like that's probably not going to pan out. It might, but it much more likely, like Janet's saying, like listen to your instincts about what you're being drawn to. And if that means not playing games for a while until you go, oh, I suddenly have the urge to play this, that's probably better for you, rather than trying to force it. Because certainly I'll have instincts of like, I want to be a shopkeeper. I want to play a shopkeeper game. And then you look for games in that niche and find a game that way, which is like not a conventional way to to find games, at least in my life. But when you just listen to what your brain is asking for and follow that through, that's the way out of it for me. Certainly I've had it happen many times over the years. A lot of burnout moments.
I think we're probably unique too in that we quote unquote have to be playing games all the time. So we probably feel a bit different. But I remember even before I was doing MinnMax stuff, is like, games are my favorite thing. Why do I want to play none of them right now? It's just kind of like a bummer feeling. And it kind of makes you go, uh-oh, am I depressed? Like, it's because like when you don't want to do your favorite stuff, you're like, oh, maybe my brain chemistry's off. That might also be it. But like, you can kind of, this sounds toxic, but like trick your brain into liking the stuff you like again.
Sometimes you need to like reconnect with the thing that you know you like and to kind of get out of that, you know, where it's like, well, I know I enjoyed this. But yeah, I do agree that if you force it too much, it's not going to work. And you also might set yourself up for like unnecessary failure of games that maybe you would have liked if you were in a different headspace. Yeah. But also that's fine because it's not, you know, you're not going to get penalized for that. But yeah, it can be a little risky.
Yeah. Michael Griffin asks, what is the console that you have had to buy the most number of controls for due to them being worn down or breaking with lots of use? Mine is Xbox 360. Lots and lots of Halo multiplayer.
Really? Because
mine's got to be Switch. The drift on the freaking Switch controllers. I bought so many Switch controllers.
Yeah. My answer to this is like, I keep having to buy different modern controllers because modern controllers are all ass. They all have weird random problems.
All ass.
No exceptions. And my Xbox 360 controller still works. It's like a little ratty and less comfortable to use, so I still try to find alternatives, but it's like every button on that thing still functions and there's no joystick drift. And I have not had a controller last that long since.
Yeah, I feel like previous generations had less drift, but would have more issues with will not turn on, whereas new ones will always turn on for the end of time but have drift in them. It's kind of like, which thing do you hate more? Probably the thing that doesn't turn on at all. It's more annoying. But low-key, I hate having a fully functional like controller, except for the fact that it drifts. Like, I don't want to throw it away because it still technically works, and people go put a little bit of rubbing alcohol and it fixes it. It doesn't really work, honestly.
And sometimes in the settings you can adjust the dead zone, but it's like it's a shame that we have to think about that.
I just hate like the thought of this thing is useless, but it turns on. Like, I hate that feeling of like, I guess I'll keep it in a basket, a wicker basket.
Electronics recycling. Electronics recycling. No, I mean,
places. Honestly, like, bring it to a game store and say, this has drift. Like, will you take it and either ethically dispose of it or buy it for like dirt cheap because you can fix it? Yeah. That's like what I've done with my, the only controllers I've had ever break in my whole life were, I think, the Switch ones with the drift. They had to get drift once. Everything else has always worked. I guess I just take better care of my things than everybody. Oh, I don't know.
It was perfect.
Or I game less. I'm not gaming hardcore enough, but also I'm just jumping in my games. I'm not hitting the sticks real hard.
If it's my fault the down on the D-pad button on my PS5 controller stopped working, I would love to know how I did that.
Your big meaty man hands, I think, probably.
Whatever game requires you to press that button.
I'm just so teeny tiny that the controllers just get
I barely have to press them.
I could lose some hand weight. I hear it. I could lose some hand weight.
Me hitting A in Life is Strange. I'm like, my controller doesn't break ever. It's just doing the lowest input games ever. I think it also helps that in the modern era, I have, you know what, the controllers that would break, third party would break on me a good amount. Oh, yeah. You know, rocking that Mad Catz or something. So I may have rebought like GameCube or stuff like that. But I think also in the modern era, I'm both spoiled and like unnecessarily buying controllers where it's like, I never want to, like, even if Isaiah didn't exist, I'd have two PS5 controllers so that I could, when one dies, I can swap them out.
Why does he have to not exist instead of just like, I never met him? I like how you have to delete him from existence instead of not being with him.
It was just faster this way. I didn't want to kill him. I didn't want to dump him. I had to figure out what to do with him. So it's like if I lived alone, I guess it's the easier way. I would still just have two. So, and then with this job, sometimes I like end up getting like free random controllers. So I've also just stopped buying them also, where it's like I'll find one in the wild if I need it. Sure. So maybe that's why they don't die as much. I don't know.
I've just from moving, we were purging a lot of our things we've been meaning to get rid of forever, and I did get rid of no less than 7 controllers that all had tiny little problems that I was still like, if we had a big multiplayer night, it'd be nice to have these around. Finally just got rid of them and got my drawers clear.
What console are we talking for those? Just like everything?
Some PC third-party Xbox looking ones, some PS4 ones, some Xbox One ones. The whole family.
Xbox One ones. Dude asks us, which Zelda sidekick character you want to see the most in the upcoming movie? I haven't really thought about this movie as being a real thing that's actually happening. I don't know about you guys. It still feels like a meme. You're gonna skip it? You don't even want to watch it?
Except
Illumination's
this sounds
animating
so like bratty, but if I could get invited to like the red carpet for it, I would do that. But I'm not gonna go see it on my own.
That's the highest bar for a movie not to get you interested ever.
That goes for most movies for me.
Genuine. I mean, it's bougie, but it's about. Yeah, I didn't like the Mario movie, so I'm like, I think I'll just skip the Zelda one too. I see so few movies. I feel like maybe I should
even if it's a game related one, like we're gonna want to hear your take on it. And you're going to want us to hear. Yeah, I want to hear what you have to say about the Zelda movie.
I don't feel like I'm not good at analyzing film. I'll do it sometimes for funsies, like on content, but it's just like, I don't know anything about this. I guess, let me see The Mask Seller. I'll see it the way I meant to see it, which is on clips on TikTok after the fact.
Yeah.
I can just kind of just piecemeal it there. Yeah. I'll get the big beats that you need. You know, if there's a viral moment, I'm sure I'll see it.
Of course. I'm going to say Midna because I just freaking love her, but they're going to make her CGI. How do they cast a Midna? That doesn't even make sense.
It's kind of a big ask, a non-CGI Midna. But I'd love to see a Yoda puppet style Midna. Remember Yoda?
That'd be cool. I remember Yoda. Oh, Deadpool's so good.
I remember Yoda. It's great. The callbacks are crazy here. Which Midna, chat ass?
Oh, well, spoilers. Spoilers for Twilight Princess.
Oh, yeah.
It's 1,000 years old. Is that okay? Yeah. Am I gonna get in trouble?
You're the host. You have to decide. Oh my God. That's the ground.
I'm gonna say it, and everyone else deal with it.
This is your warning.
I'm probably both. I would want her to be little Midna at the start, and then hot mommy Midna, like somewhere near the end of the film, to really get that feeling back. That 2007 feeling back in me.
Yeah. It's important that you explain what feeling you're talking about, so thank you.
Yeah, that deep down good feeling that you all know.
We're all fighting for.
What about you, Leo?
I don't know. The Gorons. You got to get the Gorons in there. Roll
okay.
around.
Yeah, I do like.
You don't have a Zelda character you like? You've played those. Wait, have you? Are you a Zelda person? I don't even know this.
I've played almost all of them, beaten almost none of them.
Why do you keep playing them?
Oh,
this is my own question now.
I really don't hate them. I've totally enjoyed what I've played of almost all of them.
Okay.
But I don't beat most games. You talking on Pew Pew Bang about how mad you are about people who don't beat games? I was like, please don't show her.
Look,
how many games I'm 1 hour from beating.
Because there's so many games I haven't beaten. It's not that I'm mad that people don't play games. I was specific, which again, this random person in Discord, I forgot your username. Sorry. Fun chat with you in the Silk Song thing. When they said they're right at like the final boss for Act 2, and they're like, and I'm stopping here. That I feel like
that drives Janet crazy.
That's a little nefarious. If you're just like, oh, I played a couple hours, or I played 1 hour, or 20 hours, or 40, that just feels like that's regular stuff. And I'm like, oh, that's just me knowing I'm sick though. I'm not mad at you, Leo.
I'm at the last boss of Clair Obscur and Silent Hill F.
Leo.
Ooh.
Of Clair Obscur
for months and weeks respectively.
I did last boss one game.
Yeah, I'm kind of mad.
It's an indie game called PID. I've never heard anyone talk about this game in my life. It's called PID. I thought it was awesome at the time. I don't know if it actually is good. And I got to the final boss and I never beat it. But that's because the final boss was hard for me. Don't at me if you play it and you're like, this game is easy as hell. I had a hard time with it, and that's why I didn't finish. But not finishing out of like, you can do it, but you just don't.
I haven't started the last boss. No, it's something
that's like a little sick.
Audio listeners, Janet's pissed, but she's holding it together.
It's just it makes me ill. Like that was that Backstreet Boys or NSYNC? That it makes me ill to see you. That's how I feel.
You definitely have a sickness about beating games, and I definitely have a sickness about not beating them. It's like something about being close makes me not do it.
Or aren't we just the sun and the moon?
So interesting.
I'm like that with food sometimes. I'll leave like the last bite of something, and I say, "So why don't you just finish that?" I'm like, I feel like I'm done. And something with the last bite feels gross to me. It's like, nope, the food's unappetizing now. That last corner bit, I don't know.
That's honestly good because you're supposed to be
calls
like
that last bite syndrome. His partner suffers from it as well.
You have last bite syndrome for games.
Wow, that's interesting. It's nice to just have an explanation,
on this show.
A diagnosis really feels good.
So the Gorons, after all that, I don't know, man. The Gorons, that's right. All right, well, Arturo Perez says, "Hi, MinnMax. Hi, Arturo. Do you have any word usage pet peeves? Mine is how people use the word salsa, but it just means sauce in Spanish, and I don't know what people mean when they say it, and it drives me nuts." Bracket, I'm a native Spanish speaker, by the way. Have a great day, and thank you for all the laughs. That's nice. Any word usage pet peeves?
So to a native Spanish speaker, they would say, like, ketchup is a salsa?
No, I think it's that. I'd have to ask I don't have time to ask my dad. He's not going to respond in time. I think it's just that you'd say, like, salsa verde, I would guess.
Oh,
that's my guess. If anyone in chat knows, but I feel like this person has to acknowledge I'm trying to remember what word it is. If anyone in chat knows, help me out. There's a word in Spanish where it's like we only have one word for each of the kinds. I forget if it's like pepper or it's just like it's all just one thing, but there's two kinds that exist, and I'm like, which kind are we talking about? So that's that, but inverted. I'm doing a really bad job explaining it. I know someone's yelling at the podcast, being like, "You mean this one word?" I can't. It's like a cooking ingredient. I'm trying to think of what it is. If it's pepper or I don't know, something. It's like, which one is this? Anyway, that was awful. I have nothing like this. I have nothing to add. Someone else go.
I'm a little bit, I wasn't always, but I'm a little bit on the nauseous versus nauseated. Which is kind of a classic, but it's a pet peeve for the reasons of, one, we lost the war on it. Everybody says nauseous when they mean nauseated.
They do.
Nauseous meaning this creates the feeling of nausea in me. Nauseated means the feeling of nausea has been created in me by a nauseous thing. And it only matters a little because, you know, obviously words change meaning, new words are created all the time, but it's a little like with the you know, the formulation of the word, the OUS and stuff, it's like you can piece together what certain words mean if you're following the rules about them. And it's like that being just kind of out the window on that one. And again, we lost the war. What are you going to do?
Oh, yes. Thank you, chat. It's limon. Limon both means the yellow one and the green one.
Oh.
But which one? Like there was only the one word for it in Spanish, just limon. And I'm like, okay, but you mean the green one, right? Or like, do you mean the yellow one? There's no different. Yeah. So all the recipes just say limon. So that's the inverted version. So it's just something else to be mad about. It's not a solution. It's not. Yeah. It's really just more things to be frustrated. Yeah. So, but that's not using it wrong, I suppose. But yeah, I also have the nauseous, nauseated problem, Leo. I didn't realize it was a problem in the community. Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah. Mine is also a usage, but it's just a very specific thing. That's kind of a funny story of just like my mom says frustrated. She doesn't pronounce the R, but the only time I hear her say it is when she's frustrated with me and she's telling me that, and it's not appropriate time for me to tell her that she's saying the word frustrated wrong. So I remember being
a kid, frustrated, like, Mom.
That you can't speak. It's essentially what I want to be. But I remember all those times as like a teen where, you know, come in this room and your parents are sitting there and they're ready to get mad at you. And they're just like, Mom would just be talking about how she's mad at me. And she goes, I'm just so frustrated with you, Haley. And every single time I would remember that she didn't know how to say that word right. And it would like, I'd start like thinking only about like when I need to remember next time when she's not mad at me to tell her that she says frustrated wrong. And I never remembered for years and years. I still can't even really recall if I ever told her that she says that wrong.
It's making these lessons not stick.
That's what I think about. She'd be saying like, I can't believe you did that. I'm just so frustrated that you would do this. I'm frustrated. I'd be like trying not to be like, it's frustrated, you idiot. God, you can't even get mad at me right or something like that instead.
That's so funny.
But that's just like a very like my childhood thing that I think about quite a lot. I need to tell her. I'll remember on like Christmas morning, I'll say that or something when everyone's really happy. Maybe I'll remember. In terms of usage of a word, I don't really think I notice anything except for that mom thing. Sam Kennedy asks, is there a discontinued food or drink that you're still deeply attached to? Do you guys miss Kinder eggs? You had them for a little bit, right?
We have them still, I think.
We have them with their bad illegal. Chocolate.
Yeah, with the bad chocolate.
Oh, with the
that you don't
chocolate.
like. Our American chocolate.
Barf chocolate.
No, I think all my stuff's still going strong.
I still eat hot and spicy Cheez-Its, but they did used to be better. My favorite Mandela effect thing to explain to people is that on the box of hot and spicy Cheez-Its, the little bottle just says the words hot sauce on it, and it did used to say Tabasco, and they did have a deal with Tabasco, and they used it with the Cheez-Its, and now they're still good. They used to be better.
They got like second-rate random sauce from somewhere.
Yeah, proprietary hot sauce.
Yuck.
Rather than going to the goats.
Nothing, Janet, comes to mind. You're still rocking with all your fave foods?
Yeah, I feel like all my stuff's like very mainstream and basic. So it's like cosmic brownies are still the thing. Lunchables are still a thing. Cheetos, hot Cheetos. Yeah, all my faves are still here. Even stuff that I feel like I had as a kid, but also I'm not like obsessed with like Kool-Aid and stuff like that, or like specifically the squeezy ones.
Jammers.
Though I had the bootleg ones. They were called, I didn't have the jammers. We had Mons. Monds. If you look up,
Mons?
yeah, this kind of, and
MonDS.
another piece of the psychological puzzle falls into place. Suri, yes. We had the PSP late, and I had Mons, okay, you know, and I drank my Mons, and I played on PSP. Yeah, but I called them squeezers, but they're like, it's like, yeah, it's basically like a Kool-Aid thing. It's a bootleg Kool-Aid jammer, basically.
Mondo?
You guys remember?
Mondo, yeah, Mondo.
Mondo.
I think. Yep, yeah.
Kool-Aid Burst
Mondo
is
number
what I was
5. That's what I had.
Do you guys remember the popsicles and they would have little gummy bugs in them?
That's
Those
some
are apparently
Canadian
discontinued.
stuff.
Oh, really?
I've seen those, but
they were so good.
Yeah.
They were made by Nestle. I'm looking at it. It's like they have
They're made
Timon
by
and Pumbaa on the
Nestle?
box. Yeah. Timon
Oh,
and Pumbaa are on
maybe-
the box.
That makes sense.
maybe we did get that for a little while because that feels familiar. But I know like in Mexican
yeah.
candy, like there's like some Mexican ones that have like little bugs in them, but I've never.
Little
That's a
gummies.
step too far
And it's
for
like
me.
you're eating through the popsicle and you'll get to a gummy and you kind of like pull it out with your teeth. And you're like, I'm a little excavator. And you keep eating the popsicle and you pull out another gummy with your teeth and it makes a little hole where the bug was. I just remember it was like a fun experience while eating the popsicle.
That makes sense as
And
a
you're like,
Lion
I'm
King
Timon and Pumbaa.
tie-in. I'll say that
Yeah.
the Incredible Hulk green ketchup, I'm going to pretend that was really good, and no one's going to be able to call me on it.
Yeah, I have no way to prove otherwise.
Oh, I wish I had tried that to call you out on that, but
It was a really thin
can't.
stream. They got the bigger holes now. It was like the way I remembered, it was really a power washer of green ketchup.
okay.
Okay.
Power
Thought this we
washer
were having a
green
conversation.
ketchup.
I guess I'm a
All
freak.
right, that sounds stupid. All right, let's play a game called Finish the Google Search. This is
Ooh.
from Aging Poorly. Shouts out Aging Poorly. All right, you guys ready for a little game?
Yeah.
All right. So the way this works, Agent Poorly says, I'm going to read the first several words of a Google search that asks whether a popular video game is based on some other piece of media. For example, if I say that the Google search is, quote, is Uncharted based on ... the answer would be Indiana Jones, because that's the top search on Google. If you can't get it right away, I can tell you whether the answer is a book, TV series, movie, etc. Get it? Let's play.
Let's play.
All right.
Yeah.
Easy one. Is Fortnite based on...
Player unknown's Battlegrounds.
Roblox.
What'd you say, Janet?
Roblox.
No.
Hunger Games?
Yes, the Hunger Games is correct.
Ooh.
I could see why kids would think that. They might see the Hunger Games first and think
Yeah.
that Hunger Games created the concept of a battle royale. That makes sense.
Mhm.
Is The Last of Us based on...
The Walking Dead.
No.
The Road.
That's like no.
No?
Think more
I was like,
kids.
"You'll
What
get this
kid?
again? I'm gonna be.
Think more what kids would Google, right? Like I think.
Oh,
that's
Adventure
probably the
Time.
hack. No.
Is the last of what's a zombie kids
other
thing?
adults can like Adventure Time.
That's something adults primarily Google, actually.
Ooh.
The Last of Us. What's
What's
a
like
more,
a zombie kids thing?
more relevant post-apocalyptic? The I Am Legend?
No,
No.
the kids are too young to know about I Am Legend.
Yeah.
We're dating ourselves, Leo.
We don't know about that.
Maze Runner? What?
Yeah, can you give
Yes.
us the type?
Really? It's Maze Runner. Yeah.
That's
It's Maze Runner.
hilarious.
Yeah.
That is oddly
Wow,
a zombie franchise.
You said that while laughing, implying that this is such a stupid answer you're giving. But it was
I
the
thought
right
it was
one.
I thought it was as old as the other stuff I was saying.
Is BioShock Infinite based on...
BioShock 2. Minerva's Den.
No. This one
God.
isn't so much of a piece of media as like a thing.
Heaven. The sky.
The Bible?
It's BioShock Infinite based on the sky.
I got a
Doesn't make
feeling.
any
I'm
sense.
trying to keep the streak going, okay? I'm panicking.
I'll try a few more and then I'll give you the hint.
This is interesting. BioShock Infinite, based on Liberty's Kids.
No.
What else was going on with that one? There's the multiverse.
I'm gonna say, wait, what was your hint again? It's not.
It's not a
thing?
piece of media. It's a thing.
Like an idea kind of thing.
Yeah.
The future?
No.
The multiverse?
No.
We need the hint.
As soon as I give you the hint, you're just gonna yell out what this thing is over and over until you get it. But the hint is religion.
Well, I said the Bible already. It's not the Bible.
It's not the Bible.
Jesus.
And I said heaven.
Jesus? Very quietly too.
Jesus.
There's other religions besides Christianity, you guys.
Well, this is the one I studied for, Haley.
Christianity's the real one.
Oh, so when they said there's one true God, you're saying he was lying to me. Okay, Haley.
It makes sense.
And BioShock Infinite proves it.
Buddhism.
No.
We just gotta.
Mormonism.
That's the first search?
Yeah.
Based on Mormonism.
You don't get it?
I do kind of feel like I should. Well, I didn't play BioShock Infinite. I actually also didn't.
Oh.
I didn't.
I did, and I
I've got
didn't
some
get
stuff to
it.
work on.
It gives Mormonism of like, I have this thing that I learned. You can't see it.
Sure.
Trust me.
Okay.
Sure,
So that's
yeah.
kind of
Okay,
like
okay.
the gist. Is Life is Strange based on?
I feel like I need to get
Stranger
this.
Things.
No, that's a decent
good
guess because the
guess.
word
Thank
strange is in it. Yeah.
Yeah. Is Life is Strange? God,
Excuse me.
I don't know. Indie music? Is Life is Strange based on
Degrassi.
That's a good guess too.
The hint is TV series. I'll give you the
Okay,
hint.
so
Really
TV series. Degrassi is a really good guess.
Thank you.
Degrassi's
Is
a
Life
good
is Strange
guess.
based on Gilmore Girls?
No.
Smallville.
No.
Honestly, that's another good guess. So stupid, smart Leo.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Powers.
No.
Teens with powers. Teens at school.
Yeah. Think like mystery.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Teen Titans.
No. The 90s mystery series.
X-Files.
Twin Peaks?
Twin Peaks is correct.
Oh, yay! I got one.
Nice.
I think we're done now.
There's two more. There's
kidding.
two more.
Were you a big Degrassi The Next Generation head growing up, Haley? Canadian show?
I did like Degrassi a lot. Yeah, we were very proud of that. And then you guys liked it too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I loved
Degrassi?
it.
Nice.
Classic.
You gotta talk about it sometime.
That's where Drake got his start.
Yeah.
That's right.
And
Aubrey.
now he's got his end, getting dissed at the freaking Super Bowl. So bad. Is Halo based on?
First off, is Halo based? Yes.
Hell yeah.
That's easy.
I'll give you another hint for this one. It's a book.
Starship. Oh, a book. The Bible.
God damn it.
No.
Once again, not reading more is plaguing me. God, what's like a good sci-fi series? I'm guessing it would be a sci-fi thing.
Yeah. Is it by
don't
Brandon
know.
Sanderson?
I was just talking about him.
Think about the shape of a halo, what its shape is, and the name of this book also has a word that's the same shape. That's a good hint.
Good
It's a
hint.
circle. Kind of.
Lord
don't
of the
know.
Rings?
The correct word. I'll give you that. Correct
Okay.
word, wrong book.
The Ring.
Ooh.
No, not the ring.
Lords
How would
of the
Halo be
Fallen.
based on the ring? Ring.
Ring
World.
Yeah, just full
Ring. Pick up the phone. The answer is Ring World.
Never heard of that. Rimworld?
Yeah.
Illiterate. All right, last one.
Yeah.
It's Chrono Trigger.
Why'd you ask us two illiterate people here?
You're the only
were set
people
up.
that would stay to
I
the
was set
very
up.
end. Is Chrono Trigger based on?
Oh, okay. Sorry.
That's your cue.
I was like, what? Okay. God. I don't
Hint
know.
anime series. Hint anime series.
Oh, anime. One Piece.
No.
Dragon Ball.
Demon Slayer.
It is Dragon Ball.
That's good.
Chrono Trigger?
Yeah, Aging Poorly says, I assume because of Chrono's hair.
Sure.
Okay.
Which does make sense.
I was gonna say I know even less about Dragon Ball than I thought.
Whenever anyone asks about an anime, I should just be saying Dragon Ball. That was my mistake.
Who won? I think Leo?
It's a tough one. I think
Tough
maybe
call.
Leo.
Let's say we all win. How about that?
We all
We were
won.
tied at fun to fun, but Leo won by like a lot.
All right, you two are good ones to
was
answer
a good
this
game.
next one because you
Okay.
both just got married. Which video game music do you think the most people have walked down the aisle to?
Ooh.
It's a good question.
Halo theme.
Oh,
Oh,
something with Zelda. I'm gonna just say the main theme
probably
to
the
be
answer.
general. Oh yeah, right. 'cause
Fairy
yours is an
Fountain? Fairy
Okay.
Fountain? I think the
Is
fairy
it the one that
Yeah.
goes dun, 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 dun,
So-
dun, dun, dun. That's not
Yeah.
how it goes. Yeah,
There-
okay.
Yeah.
There's not an answer. We're just theorizing.
Yeah. Oh, this is Emma Going Nuts is her name, by the way. or
Right
their
on.
name.
Oh, okay,
That's a
cool. Yeah, this is
great
just
name.
just for theorizing, I would say like I do feel like Zelda is probably it because it's some of the prettiest music. So I do think you could find
Like
less-
violins.
a less
Yeah.
intense version. But if you did go intense, it wouldn't be as wild. Like I know there's people out there that are walking down to Mario, but I don't like to think about it.
Bump, bump, bump.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, jumping at the
Yeah.
end to hit the box
That'd
and
be
the
pretty
keys
sick.
come out. I mean, the rings.
I will say, how good is that bridge? That song is like one of the best games. With bum 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 bum. It's so
You got
good.
more excited about Mario than the wedding. You're like, and the freaking keys would come out.
That's such a homeowner's Freudian slip to say keys instead of ring. Wow. My homeowning app.
Yeah.
Maybe, like in Jewish weddings, how they slam their foot down on the glass under the napkin. I apologize. I don't know
Mazel
exactly what's
tov.
happening. Maybe it's kind of like a big ground pound Mario on the napkin, and they could play that song. That'd be kind of cool.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, not weirder saying Final Fantasy music. That also kind of gives like, it's a very special day.
That's if it's not Zelda, it's gotta be Final Fantasy. But also, it's the first other answer I've heard, and I'm like, yes, like immediately, yeah. So I don't know.
That's correct.
I don't
If
know
you
what
guys had-
that feels
Aerith's
right.
theme is, but probably Aerith's theme.
Probably.
Yeah, it's like I don't know, she's laying with the flowers or something, sleeping with the fishes.
If you guys had to walk down the aisle to a video game song, what would you choose?
Doom Eternal, Kill Revenge.
Yeah, Marie would just run coming down the aisle.
If I had to, like, I guess the boring answer is I would think about like what Isaiah likes and what I like, and if there's common ground. But the more interesting answer, like if I was just it's me marrying myself and they're making me walk down the aisle to video game music.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Yeah.
Probably something from Celeste.
Oh,
Or like
cute.
something that like Lena Raine has done. I feel like she's definitely one of my favorite game composers. I'm thinking of
Yeah.
some of the music that I've listened to more because I'm very weird with video game music. I wasn't into it for a very long time because I grew up just putting the volume down and putting on CDs a lot. So I didn't have a big attachment to a lot of OSTs. And then I've kind of since now I listen to albums sometimes, but I still put on music sometimes. Like Silk Song, I famously am just playing Sabrina Carpenter when I'm fighting in that game. Yeah, because it'd have to be something like that has like some form of mellifluousness to it. That's not the right use of that word. Because there's the songs I really like are too derpy. Like I really like the Ocean's Island soundtrack, but that sounds insane.
It's like
No, I like the
You don't have to squat down the aisle.
I like that. I really like that first Castle song that plays. But dun 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 dun. Oh, that
one's
eats
cute.
down. It's so good.
I was thinking Journey.
Anyway.
That'd be a nice one.
Sure.
Journey kind of has
Yeah.
like nice relaxing music. That would be pretty.
There's an Owlboy
times.
song I have on my sad music playlist. Beautiful music
Yeah.
playlist.
Is
Sad
that
and
for when you
beautiful?
are
It's the same
sad
thing?
or when you want to feel sad?
Both.
It's a good
Both.
question.
Both. Okay.
It's
Both.
called Tear
That's just Mitski for me.
Teargerkers.
Never came out of that album not feeling criminally depressed.
Such perfect
All right.
peace.
That's what it's called?
Nice.
That's what the song's called. Shuts out.
Cute. I
Owlboy.
thought they were saying what you feel when you listen to it. I thought
That's
what you were
nice.
saying.
I'll put it on and then I'll feel like I'm sad syncing up with you.
Yeah. Such perfect peace, you'll say.
Oh. All right, ready for the last question of the week?
Give it.
Of the
Give it here.
freaking
Yeah.
week. say best. Well, I shouldn't say best for last because then you guys will get way to want to say their things the best. Victor Fam says, this is a family-friendly show, so I'm going to say kiss, marry, kill. Kiryu, Majima, Ichiban. This is a really important question to me.
Can I get the back of the baseball card for each of these characters? Because I've played some Yakuza, but not enough to like gut know everything about all these people.
I would love to provide this for you. I'd love to provide
Thank
this
you.
for you. So Kiryu is very silent. Think Geralt of Rivia type. He's silent, but he like can kind of sometimes crack these jokes. You see a little bit through the facade. And you're like, oh, he's kind of cute. Look at that. He's a little bit silly. In the later games, he's like kind of a gray fox type. And it's like, oh, there's something going on there. Very strong dude, protector vibe. He's there for you. Ichiban is silly boy energy. He's like a golden retriever boy. Says the wrong thing at the wrong time, but you still love him even though he did it. And he's just like hyper diaper running around, very charming, very like, oh, very sweet. And then Majima's kind of like tough guy. He's the one who wears the eye patch that Sarah is obsessed with. Yeah. Business proprietor, has in some games he's very like straight shot, and then in other games he's like crazy. He's like going nuts. He's like the Pirate Yakuza game was about him
that's
recently.
what I'm a little worried about.
Bad boy.
He's kind of a wild card, right?
He's a bad boy. He's probably, if I could categorize it, it's like boy next door Ichiban, bad boy Majima, and Kiryu's like golden child, maybe would be the best way to phrase
This is so definitely kill Ichiban. I knew that the second I read the
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, I don't need this derp McGurp hanging out with me. I don't need to. I don't want to roll over and see this guy from the kiss, obviously, because of the question. And see this guy. Nah, I don't know. Dunzo. Sweet guy, but yeah.
Killed him. Killed him.
And and then I'm torn. I wish I like knew more. I know you gave great back of the baseball card, to be clear. I'm just trying to think.
One of them is totally insane, if that helps. You make your decision.
Is it Majima that's insane?
Majima's like crazy, yeah.
Is that why he's the hottest one? It's always the hotties you gotta watch out for because they're psycho. Okay, then I guess marry Kiryu and kiss Majima.
Wow.
But if I knew more, I might flip him if I knew more. But
that's fair.
He sounds a little spicy.
I'm obviously to me it's easy kill Majima, but then it's tough between Kiryu and Ichiban. Who
I'm there.
Would I like Ichiban's deal super long term, or would it get a little
That's
grating?
the thing. I just feel like I'm tired.
It's tough.
The emotional labor you're gonna have to do, and also he's so like Goku tropey. And I know we just said everyone likes Goku, but the truth is,
the hair again.
Goku be
Grandpa Lewin loves Goku.
I know we just said, everyone loves Goku, but like the truth is, if Goku's your favorite, that's like kind of a red flag. Like I think we all know that that's the boring pick. Like, I don't know. Yeah.
The other thing is, like, I think Kiryu would be a better husband, but I'm more in love with Ichiban.
Sure.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Wow.
I worry Kiryu would be a little boring. That's why I was like, maybe Majima, he's got a lot going on, but maybe he'll be like, maybe it'll be like a fun, maybe we're not married for that long. Maybe it's like a wild first.
A little Kim Kardashian, quick, weird wedding.
Yeah. Yeah. Like we all knew that it wasn't going to work, but oh my God, did we look good the day of? Because he's very fashionable. You can dress him up a bunch in that pirate game.
I think you'd really marry Kiryu, but always think about your kiss with Ichiban and wonder what could have been.
I'm leaning marry Ichiban just because I do love him so much. But I think the planner in me would choose Kiryu, so it would be a head or heart thing. Like if they were just both standing there, I go, it might depend on the day. Today, I would say I would marry Ichiban, kiss Kiryu, but I can't say what I'd say tomorrow. But I'm killing Majima either way, so that's for sure. Important work we're doing here.
Good to know for when the situation comes up. Good to have a plan.
Look, who's getting the best kiss? I know it's not anyone that's ending up with Ichiban. I'm just going to throw it out there.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
It's very sweet.
You think that's who's going to be able to lay it down kiss-wise? Age appropriate?
Kiryu is canonically a virgin for like all of the games.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Oh, well, you didn't... Look, I wasn't trying to discriminate, but you didn't give me this information before I made a decision.
Yeah, well, now you know. Does it change anything?
I'll have to play more of the games and come back to this.
Okay, that sounds good.
So,
all right. Sounds good. I'll let you off the hook for that one. What do you guys think about question of the week? We got
Good questions.
gaming slumps, controllers that break, Zelda sidekicks, word pet peeves, our little fun game, discontinued food, video game
I liked
aisle.
all of them.
You liked all of them?
I liked all of them
Yeah,
too.
we
I
just-
liked the controller
We
one.
just had such a tight knit little group here. It was like very
I know,
fun.
this felt
No shade to
cozy.
the
I
bigger
liked it.
ones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
Totally.
and this was PP Bang because Leo produces that, so this literally was.
This is what I'm
Um,
saying to my computer when I edit it.
I feel like there. I don't know if it's like the best question, but I kind of enjoyed what we got out of the Zelda one just because it went in a lot of different directions. I liked hearing about Leo not finishing games in the food. Leave the
Kind of
one
a
bite
a
thing.
lucky one that just happened to lead us into the combo that you were excited to have.
Made the show better.
Interesting.
But does
Yeah.
But does anyone have any other call outs?
I like gaming slumps too because that's, I think,
I like that
something that
also.
happens to a lot of people.
Yeah.
But I'm happy with
gaming
Zelda
slumps as well.
sidekicks.
Haley, why don't you make the final call as our fearless leader?
It sounds like Zelda Sidekicks is taking it. Duder ado. You won the Hero of Time LP music from Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time from I Am 8-Bit. It's this.
A
You'll
Zelda
be getting
question to
this
get a
in
Zelda
the mail.
prize.
Oh my god.
Didn't even think about
That's
that.
so true.
I can't believe
I
nobody
want to
else
say we're
thought
playing
to
the
do
meta
that.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll be getting this.
What do you
And
want?
we got so many questions, by the way. Like, this is my first time having to parse them all and like choose. If your question doesn't get picked, it's not because you have a bad question. It's because I simply cannot fit them all on here. So don't be sad if I didn't pick your question. I promise you, there was like a million others that I was like, oh, that one too, but I just didn't have room. So thank you to all our lovely Patreon supporters who sent us questions this week. That was so fun. All right, are you guys ready for only three people get a load of this?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it.
Let's play the music. And we got to hear it live. Thank you, Leo.
You're welcome.
right.
Wasn't that good?
That was really good. I wish we could hear it every time. All right, get a load of this. I haven't been on the the podcast in a while, but so this is slightly old news. But the USPTO is reassessing the Pokemon Battle Systems patent, and it's specifically the
Ooh.
director of the USPTO that called for the reassessment, which the last time that happened was 2012. This never ever happens. This is big Mondo patent stuff happening, you guys. You need to get
Okay.
excited with me.
I'm
When
excited.
I saw
Juices
this
I had
news,
when I was a kid, the Mondos.
the Mondo juice package excitement I have for this. When I saw that, because what I kind of talked about is like, unless someone wants to fork over hundreds of thousands of dollars, this patent just gets to exist forever, right? This is the Nintendo, I think it's the 397, it's called, like, shorthand patent, which is essentially just you check out a Pokemon, you can tell it to go over there and it could bump into somebody and fight, or you can direct it to go fight something specifically. Very basic. I don't think it meets patentability criteria. And I was like, damn, that sucks that this just exists now for 20 years. But then the director himself came out and said, nah, we're looking at this again. This is sus. I believe he said that specific thing in the formal report. He said, we're looking at this again. Someone doesn't have to spend hundreds of thousands to look at it again. Fantastic news. And I think it largely had to do with public outcry, which, means they're paying attention. A lot of people got really pissed about it. It got approved way too easily, and they said, our bad, let's look at it again. I think that's pretty big of them. I was pretty proud of the USPTO. I said, you know what? Kudos. Give them a W.
Nice.
Proud of them. Yeah. And I did an interview with Nicole Carpenter and talked a little bit about it. And then I told her that if they reject the patent, that I would do another interview with her and I would pop champagne with her in the interview. And she said, sounds good. So I hope I get to do that with Nicole.
Fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Get a load of this.
Wow.
Okay, audiobook core.
Here's a fun little trick. If you're crying cutting onions, wear some swim goggles. Plus
You brought this up at really rad. You brought this up at really rad weekend.
I said that is a good tidbit I wish I knew earlier. It's a simple solution. You're not always going to have perfect fresh onions that don't make you cry. Put some swim goggles on.
What about glasses? Do those work?
No.
No, glass doesn't do anything.
Comes in the
Except probably
sides.
see.
Comes in the sides.
Do you keep your goggles in your kitchen?
No, that'd be smart though. I should get a pair specifically for it. Because it really is just the easiest way. Like, you put oil on the knife or you cut it a specific way to, like, minimize how many times you're going through it. There's all these, like, really smart things chefs do. And that's why I'm saying the easiest one is to wear goggles. Thank you.
Smart.
Nice.
What are you
get a load of this. Oh, cute cat. Mine is this rolled out like a couple weeks ago at this point, but I was reminded of it because I was asking in our Discord about trying to help keeping track of games, where I tried doing a Trello board and then just randomly updating the release dates, and that is a wild amount of work to do manually. But Steam recently rolled out their personal calendar. It's like in beta right now. If you go to just store.steampowered.com/personal calendar, you'll see it. And it has 500 games that have either been recently released or are coming soon. And you can choose to have that be just your wishlisted games, hide your wishlisted games, or like to include your wishlisted games, hide them, or to only show them. So I think the way I'm going to hack this is just to make sure I'm definitely wishlisting everything I'm looking forward to, which I kind of already did anyway, and just checking in on that kind of as like a one spot for it. It also could be cool for, discoverability. I think that remains to be seen until they test it out more and see like how much is that yielding. Yeah, that's like a whole topic in itself. How good is an algorithm at showing you games that you'll like? Results vary, I find, in my past experience, but I've been eyeing that too, and just seeing, is there anything that vaguely grabs me from what Steam's algorithm surfaces to me, and then I'll wish that as well. So yeah, that's mine.
Love it. And then we got one from the community. This is from our Get a Load of This channel on Discord. If you support us on Patreon at the $2 tier or higher, you get access. And they put a bunch of cool stuff in there every day. Wajora Mackenzie posted that, you'll like this, Janet. Silk Song has been beaten blindfolded for the first time ever by a runner, and they beat it in 20 hours. Nice. Blindfolded. I actually was like watching the video to be like, is he peeking? I was like, is he peeking? No,
taking
like
a cheeky peek.
A good chunk of it is like him boringly running into a wall for too long because he like doesn't know where he is and stuff, but he does beat it, and that's awesome. That's insane.
I would like to compete.
Really good sound design.
Like, there's all speed run categories and stuff. I would like to do the world's best Silk Song run blindfolded (cheating), peeking through it.
Cheating blindfolding run, and it's still like 50 hours. Nowhere close to his actual blindfolding run. Awesome. Well, you can see all these Get a Load of This in the links down below, except for Leo's, which is just go buy goggles, I guess. Maybe
no source on that.
Theme ones.
I might
That'd
be lying.
Cute. Get Ratatouille themed goggles, and then it could be like kitchen ones. Yeah, that was our show this week. Leo's eating his cat right now, Doctor, which is very nice. What's new on MinnMax this week? Yesterday we had our Max Spoilers Dispatch episode go live, so I know we talked about Dispatch a little bit, but if you want to hear us talk about it for an additional 2 hours, you can go check that out. We talk about all the endings, and specifically the one that we all got, which was the same one, which was kind of a bummer, but what can you do? We're recording a new PP Bang tomorrow that's going to be going up on Monday. Our 9th episode in the season. We're almost done season 2, which is actually crazy to my brain. But we have something very very fun, and I'm very excited for something planned for our season finale this season. What else we got going on?
Bonus pod. You did a nice one with Ben Reeves, friend of the show.
Yeah, Ben Reeves joined me to talk about a bunch of different stuff. What was fun about that is Ben was the one who hired me when I was a Game Informer intern. And when I sent in my application, I drew all over the envelope to try to increase my chances someone would care about me in the sea of people. And I asked him, did anyone care about that? He goes, nah. I don't remember that ever being a part of it, which is so valid, but closure. It was nice to have that closure 10 years later. Yeah. That probably just got chucked in a shredder immediately upon being received by the Game Informer offices, as they should. I'm not saying frame it or nothing, but it was nice to get that closure.
They should have framed it. Really important plug. The Thanksgiving jokes are coming up. Our yearly Thanksgiving joke tradition. There's a Patreon post up now to submit yours, and we're recording that next week. Getting the whole gang back together. Yeah,
Ben will be there for that. He's coming out of paternity leave specifically for Thanksgiving jokes.
Yeah, he didn't want to miss that.
Very fun.
I have been so busy. I have it on my daily to do, and it keeps getting bumped to write my jokes. And my jokes are gonna be the worst ever this year, and be written so fast with so little care to the craft of them.
I can write some and send them to you to help you.
No,
I
you
liked
should
doing
submit
it
those
last
as your
year.
own for sure. Anybody can submit. Kelsey just said, do I send jokes to you or Ben? I'm excited for Kelsey.
Oh, fun.
But yeah, definitely. The more the better. It's the longer we're reading the jokes, the funnier they get. That's how it goes every year. So have some fun submitting those. Great yearly tradition.
I was able to be in person last year when we did that. That was really fun.
Yeah.
But then the government doesn't like me anymore. Well, that's episode 321 of the freaking MinnMax show. Thank you, Janet and Leo, for sticking around for the very end of it.
Yeah.
Very fun.
I'm gonna play the Get a Load of This jingle again just for fun.
Screw it.
Yeah. Daddy's away.
That pisses you off? Then listen at home. Play it one more time, Leo. One more time. One more time.
Louder. Doing it louder.
Louder even. I hope that's not obnoxious for our listeners who we love, and it's only obnoxious for Ben Hansen, who we want to tease. Thanks, everybody, for watching. I had a fabulous time hosting. This was so fun, and a personal little dream of mine. This was something I never ever thought I would ever do in my life, and I'm so excited that it's happened and that I get to just podcast with my friends, and it feels chill, but it also is something I've always wanted to do. That was very fun.
Hell yeah. You did a great job.
Yeah, you did great.
Great job.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for supporting MinnMax. And we'll see you all back here next week, where Kyle Bossman will be back in the host seat. And we'll be talking about a whole bunch of new games. Eat food, play games, get fat. Bye.
Bye.